Hello everybody, welcome back to Mad Lads Live. We are playing once again Kenshi, the new Nugget Mafia. Now, little disclaimer, because I'm in fact a complete dodo. I've been saying for almost 12 episodes now that there is a mod that fixes the economy of Kenshi. Okay, so what it is that the economy of Kenshi, by default, all NPCs have an allowance that they get every single day. And that allowance at the end of the day will refresh, but that allowance is what they use to buy items from shops. And they have preferences depending on, where they are, what faction they're part of. They also have different allowances depending on their social class, the faction they're with, where they're at, all that stuff. A lot of things, right? The problem is that in base Kenshi, that allowance system is broken, so the real allowance never actually refreshes. So shop counters are not really viable because of that. Now there are mods to fix this. And I've been saying for 12 episodes, or 11 episodes now, that I had the mod. Well, I checked my load order today because I noticed that things were just taking some time to work. Like I was getting sales in our shop counters with our food and our drugs, but not as much as I should be. And nope, as it turns out, my stupid ass didn't have the mod, so I have the mod now. And Don Tony McChicken's business should actually be flourishing now. So I just booted it up. I did a fresh import to see if it takes effect, and we're gonna see what happens now. We're gonna see how things go. But yeah, as it turns out, I am in fact an absolute dingus. I'm a silly goose. Yeah, my bad. That's my bad. How is everybody tonight? So we should see people buy. Yeah, okay. So we should see people buying more stuff now, though, because the economy is actually fixed. The allowance system is corrected. Because before we were basically reliant on randomly generated trade caravans coming through to buy stuff. None of the citizens were buying stuff anymore. So only when an NPC would disappear and reappear or respawn would they pop back in. So it does look like it is working now, though. However, so that's pretty cool. We've already gone up 5,000 cats since I started this, since I started here, which is pretty awesome. So I think we're actually working now, which is good. We're actually going to pop on over to our other shopkeeper, Grink, and see how he's doing. Yeah. Yeah. I'm great. How are you? Doing great. Trying not to get wiped off the map. Yeah. I'm pretty good. I am pretty good. Pretty good. Especially now that we've got that fixed. Because what that means, guys, is that I think the Nugget Mafia playthrough will actually be able to wrap up here within the next couple of episodes, which is cool because the goal is to get to, between 1 and 10 million cats. We'll see how we're doing, what we're up to, but get a successful, economic playthrough. And then we will, oh yeah, see, we're rolling in it now. We're rolling in it now. We've made 10,000 cats since I started the stream. So the goal is to do a successful economic playthrough, and then once we do that, we're gonna hop into Project Cthulhu, and I'm very, very excited about that. So I'm pretty hyped about it. Pretty hyped about it. I'm doing pretty good, though. Pretty good. I also, in case anybody that's on here, although I'm sure most of the people on here did see it, but in the event that anyone that's on here currently didn't, and I'm probably going to talk about it a couple of times throughout the course of the stream, I released my first Kenshi, cinematic storytelling video, my first cinematic event, which was the spectacular conclusion to the to the Return of the Dwarves playthrough. So if anybody hasn't seen that, I do recommend checking it out. Kind of a sneak peek for my cinematic style for the upcoming anthology, although the anthology will, I'm going to be putting a lot more time into it. I put a decent amount of time into this, but I'm putting more time into it, and the anthology is going to be fully voice acted. So that one's going to be a bit more detailed, but this one was more or less to give people an idea of like what my camera work will be like and what the action sequences in the anthology may be like. So I hope that you guys enjoy. I hope you enjoyed if you have seen it, and I hope that if you check it out, you guys do enjoy. Thank you, Dragon. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. It's the most beautiful thing my eyes have seen in a long time. Red, you just like it because you were front and center at the end of it during the throne room scene. What are the only two survivors from the original group of dwarves? A king and his trusty general. All right, so now that we can actually buy and sell stuff, though, and that we're making solid money, we need to get more stores open. So the plan is that I want to open one in the capital here, and you can see on the side here, like cats are just going up, just passively, which is that is the goal. That is the goal. Passive cats, everybody, passive cats, just going up. They will go up slower, I think, if I don't have my camera. Like the area loaded in. I do think they will go up slower, but that's okay. The goal isn't to have it go up super fast. The goal is to have it go up at all. So now what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to go grab some food cubes because we've made food cubes now. Although the food cubes don't appear to be selling as well in Stout and whatnot, but that's fine. I'm gonna take a bunch of food here, and we're gonna run actually to the capital, and we're gonna build a we're gonna buy a building in the capital too. So we're gonna head to the capital. We're gonna have Ruka and Don here head back to the capital. They're gonna go on another little exposition, little adventure. I didn't expect her to survive, but she did. But honestly, great job. Keep up the good work. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I'm glad that you enjoyed it. And I was like, you say that you didn't expect Red to survive. I'm gonna be honest with you. Red was a fucking beast through that whole playthrough. You would only ever know that a fight was going really bad and that like bad things were happening when Red went down, because Red never went down. If Red went down in combat, it was an indicator that things were about to get ugly. Every single time. Red was a beast, an absolute fucking beast. The only time Red went down was when things were looking rough. Red was an absolute monster in combat. Even when before Red became a Lord, right when Red was still a Slayer. You know, prior to the fall of prior to Red's was, I think, Lord Stream died, and Red took his place. Prior to that, still, I mean, like the reason Red got promoted from Slayer to nobility after Stream died was because Red never went down in combat. It just didn't happen. I have that gate shut, right? I do. Okay. Red was an absolute monster. The wall, you'll never see him fall. Just love it. Love the passive cats. Passive cats, best kind of cats. Best kind of cats because it means that we're slowly getting to our goal here. Can I get a bone dog named after me? It would be fun. It'd be funny. Absolutely. Absolutely. We'll get one bone dog. I wasn't going to have a lot of animals in this playthrough, but I will get one bone dog, and I will name them after you. I will name one bone dog Raiden. As soon as I find a nomad caravan, I'll get a bone dog and name him after you. We are off to the capital. We're headed off to the capital of Heft. I am honored to be part of the Mafia as a dog. And we're honored to have you in the Mafia as a dog. Hope you don't forget. Don't forget to grab the bone dog. I might. Someone's going to have to remind me. I have the memory of a goldfish when it comes to these kinds of things. I get lost in the sauce a lot. So someone's going to have to... someone will probably end up having to remind me. If we see a nomad caravan, someone remind me. I'm burdening you all with the responsibility of reminding me. Or if we happen to find a bone dog that looks suitable out and about, remind me and I'll grab it and bring it back to the base with us. We'll throw it in a cage and indoctrinate it. Traders Guild visit. Is it just a visitor or is it the tax man? Taxman, Traders Guild. It's probably the, what is it? Every time I import the Traders Guild. So it's funny, the United Cities taxman, they just come and take it from you, right? They just come and they're like, hey, you owe us cash, give us the monies. The Traders Guild, however, they don't do that. They have an initial like meeting where they're like, hey, this is Traders Guild territory. We'd hate for anything bad to happen to you. And, you know, every time I import, they redo that dialogue, so it ends up buying me an extra couple of days, which I think is funny. Man, when you inspired me to play Kenshi again, I started at like 7 a.m., then I look over and it's 1 a.m. It's truly an addicting game. I have to set a timer for myself, literally. So there's a reason that I've dumped, you know, across the last 5-ish years, almost 5 years, I've dumped 2,500 hours into Kenshi. 2,100 on this Steam profile, and then another 500 or so on another Steam profile. It's an addicting game. There we go. I want one of the restaurants named after me. Can do. We have Beeps. We have what is it? We have Zeep's Delight and Stout. The one in Henge can be named after you, Red. The one in Henge can be named after you. So here's what we'll do. I have my shopkeepers, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put Don in the runners for right now. We have our thugs and our made men. I'm gonna move these over to here, and I'm gonna put these ones. So we have Zeep's Delight, Stout, and then we have Red's. What do you want your restaurant to be named? What do you want it to be named? Red's what? Red's Garlics. I'm okay with it. Until otherwise. And that one's in Henge. Yeah. Red's Garlic. I love it. Everything about it. Okay, cool. So we've got our various restaurants. And it'll work out because eventually I'm going to start stationing people to hang out there with some of the shopkeepers. Beautiful stuff. Oh shit, I turned my my thing on. Okay, so now we have to get a building here. Can we afford a building here? Ooh, 48,000. That's a bit pricey. That's a little bit pricey. Is there a cheaper one? Above 80, but it doesn't really have that prime real estate feel. Is there a cheaper but bigger, nicer one? No? No, there's this one that's 1,900, but it's way up there. Are people actually going to go in there? Honestly, this one would work best, but... Oh, no. Oh, no. It's fine. Alright, we'll do this one, 1,280. It's right along the major walkway, and we should, you know, be able to do it here. I'm not too worried about that. So we're going to send both of them up here. I think last episode you said you would give Rex some unholy armor and Paladin's Cross. I did, I just haven't gotten to some unholy armor. Just haven't done it yet. We are back! We're so back. We're so back. We've never been this back before. Okay, baby got back. That's how back we are. Alright, Don, you need to go get yourself some building materials that we can use to build our shop here, because we are currently carrying some stuff. 2,500 hours in 5 years, 8.5% of your waking hours have been spent in Kenshi. Yeah, I don't want to talk about it. My wife and kids have suffered duly enough. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it. The 40K is for the... Yeah, so eventually we will end up getting this building here. We'll move all of our stock. Right now we're in this building temporarily. Once we get more money, we'll be right there. Taxman's here. We got to pop back to the base. We're going to have Shrike go out and pay our taxes. Shrike, get out here. Oi, fools. The Empire has come. Have your wife and kids considered adding XP bars to tick up? Shh, don't worry about it. You don't. These are questions that none of you guys want the answer to, okay? Don't ask questions that you don't want the answer to. Don't see why not start with the big one when we have enough, but already I don't, because we don't have enough. Because we don't have enough. And I need to have multiple restaurants so we can get enough. Also, then I can have 2 restaurants open, and I can sell different products. I can have one that sells restaurants, and then maybe we want to dip into a medical supply company. Maybe we want to open an armor, like a weapons dealer. We don't know. You know, you don't know. You know, maybe we'll have like a small supply company where we sell all of our excess shit and technology and stuff like that, and then we sell food over here. You know, it's fine. This is a business. I have a business plan. I'm a businessman. I am a businessman. I am, in fact, a businessman. Probably. For Imperial City, it seems like a dead, empty space. I understand your point. The cities need restructuring. Yeah. 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 I think that the big cities here need to medicinal supplies. I mean, we're going to be selling the hashish too. We have our other storefronts loaded with hashish. No, I do think that in Kenshi 2, like, I'm excited for one of the aspects of Unreal that I'm excited for is the ability to have an engine that can handle larger populations better than the Ogre engine can, and to also have an engine that is like better suited for like large cities. I'm beyond excited to see the cities in Kenshi 2. It's gonna be magnificent, magnificent. All right, mechanical shop. I believe we can go in here. Now you gotta go inside the shop. Fantastic. Fantastic. Slave raid? Oh no. It's fine. We're just dropping some stuff off anyway. Unreal Kenshi? Never heard of it. Yeah, man. Kenshi 2 is gonna be on Unreal 5. It's gonna be on Unreal 5. Do you think the map is going to be the same, just flooded as you said before, and the 2 times the size? No. So I think that, all right. So basically, they said it was going to be 50% bigger, which is, like half the map bigger. So I think that they're going to flood the map, which is going to decrease. I think that they're going to flood the map, which is going to end up decreasing the land size of Kenshi as we know currently. However, we are going to get access to new continents via boats. That's my guesstimate, and that is going to be part of the map increased. And then also, I think because they had to rebuild the entire map in Unreal 5, I think they quite literally took the map and scaled it up. So it's the same map, but half of it's underwater, but they made the land masses themselves bigger. Are the United Cities a direct parallel to the United States? No, the United Cities are a direct parallel to the Edo period Japan. Specifically towards either, it's hard to say because the Edo period was a 250-year period, and it was largely the same. There was a lot of increases in, literacy and tech and all that stuff, but it is more likely, given like where the rest of Kenshi is. The Holy Nation is currently towards the tail end of the Dark Ages or the early medieval period, which would be the Crusades right before the Renaissance. It's likely that the United Cities is based on the end of Edo period Japan, just before the Meiji Restoration, when the shogunate lost its full power and power was given back to the emperor, who was largely a figurehead before that. So, no, not United Cities, parallel to Edo period Japan. Just prior to the Meiji Restoration. All right. So I'm not sure about increasing the map size, mostly because other games were where I prefer the smaller maps, but that's personally just me. I think that I think Kenshi's one of those games where increasing the map size is. I think that increasing the map size is one of those things where a lot of games I'm like, no, a bigger map means it's going to be more hollow. I don't think that's the case with Kenshi. That is not a concern that I have with Kenshi. With good old Kenshi. So I wouldn't worry too much about that. That is not a concern I have with it. I think a bigger map just means we have more factions, we have more land, we have more things to do, more stories to tell. But again, I do think we are getting extra. We're getting new continents in Kenshi 2. And in addition to my belief we're getting new continents, there's actually reason to believe there was a bit of foreshadowing that occurred in Kenshi 1 that indicates we're going to be getting new maps in Kenshi 2. There is an item that you can get in old labs and stuff like that. It's called an old map. And the description for the old map says that it depicts an unrecognized and probably like fantasy or fake continent. And you know, I think the idea is that that fake continent is a continent that is going to be accessible in Kenshi 2. You know, the speculation prior to Kenshi 2 and like the notice of that was that like the map was indicating that the terrain used to look a lot different than it does now, like the face of Kenshi does now. I think it's more likely that it's actually not Kenshi in a previous state. It's actually a far off land that we're going to get in Kenshi 2. So new continents may have very well been foreshadowed in Kenshi 1, which is really cool. A really cool idea. All right. So now that we have this open, now that this is open, shops are open. Everybody, welcome, welcome. Come on in. Is the Eagle's Cross a viable crossbow? I never used it. I'm considering buying master ones for my guys. Yeah, I mean, Eagle's Crosses are badass. Late game, if you get high enough crossbow skill, you're basically like able to snipe people from cross map without much of an issue. It disappeared because all the water went over their trust. Do you think radiation will play effect or a lot more environmental hazards? I do. I do think that things like radiation and stuff like that are going to appear in Kenshi too. I think that there's going to be instances and aspects of radiation present in places like the grid and stuff like that. Absolutely. Absolutely. Do you expect the Second Empire to be there? Colonies and such? Yeah. Do I expect them to be on the other landmass? Yeah, I do. I don't think they're going to be the dominant power on that landmass, but I do expect them to be there. Yeah. Especially since the Second Empire at the time of Kenshi 2 is going to be very much at the tail end of the Empire. It's going to be very much, you know, at the dying gasps of an Empire that is trying to hold on to its desperate, you know, talons of power that it has throughout the world, when most cities have begun to secede from the Empire and are no longer listening to Catalan. So you're going to see the United Cities, as it's actively crumbling, cities declaring independence, cities that have recently declared independence, and you're going to see the Second Empire trying to retain and hold on to the little bits of territory and land and power that it still has. It's going to be a crumbling, dying empire that just, you know, maybe refuses to give up. So we're going to buy a slave real fast. And you may be wondering to yourself, why? Why are you buying a slave? Well, the answer is because I need someone here that can man the shop counter that's not going to have a high hunger rating. It is going to be able to, you know, man the shop counter without dying. So we're going to take 2 food cubes for you. And that's what you're going to live on, is those food cubes. And you're just going to hang out. That's what you do. Now, black, passive, and hold. And you're going to hang out. So you man the shop counter, and in exchange for manning that shop counter, you don't die. You don't die. All right, we're going to throw you down here, and now we're going to name this one. So this is going to be the next one. Obviously, Stoat is our capital, our flagship business for now. Which one are we going to name? What are we going to name this restaurant? What are we going to name this one? What are we going to name this one? This is the one for Heft. So, Heft. All right. Anyone got an idea for a name? Anyone at all? Anyone at all? Ow. What do we have here? I'll suggest the name. The Drunken Emperor, the Emperor's Cafe or something. I like the Drunken Emperor. That's not bad. The Katana Queen's Bar and Grill. Red, I'm tough. That's tough. What do we name? What do we go with? What do we go with? I've got 2 votes for the Drunken Emperor right now. I like the Drunken Emperor. I do. We're gonna go with the Drunken Emperor. The Drunken Emperor and Heft, Red's Garlic and Henge, and Zeep's Delight and Stout. R.I.P. Zeep. R.I.P. Zeep. All right. So in addition, fun fact, in addition to making to making food cubes. We're making everything, okay? We've got food cubes. We've got dust witches. We also, back at the base, we'll pop back here real fast. In addition to all of that good stuff, we also, at some point, are going to have to start production of sake. Not sake. We're going to be making rum. We're going to be making rum. So we've got to get somebody on the rum. Oh, what is this? Traders Guild. Okay, that's fine. Have the slavers come yet? No. Where are the slavers? They're moving towards our base. I know that much. Are they here yet? No, they're not. All right. Well, we got to come talk to them. Drunken Empire. Only 70% baby meat. That's correct. The Forbidden Food Cube, guys. We're selling the Forbidden Food Cube. It's a free world. I guess I'll pay then. Fantastic. Okay, so that's that. We do have a slave raid headed our way, so we are going to head back this way. We got a nice little slave raid. We're also going to pop on over to Burn and see how he's doing on his inventory. We're going to make sure he has product here. He is running out of product, so that is something we have to consider. He's also running 2 stores. We're going to have to get somebody over here that can man this shop counter as well, I think. We got a lot of drugs in this one. Although that one is selling, it's just not selling quite as fast. Nice. 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 Burn is capable of holding this fort down without much of an issue. I don't think anyone's going to fuck with Burn. I don't know if you guys have seen his stats recently, but Burn pretty much spends all of his time making gains. He's thick boy. This dude over here is Thickabod Crane. Look at him right now. Look at those fucking guns. Those biceps. Look, as Pato would say, look at his biceps. Look at them. I mean, the dude's an absolute fucking animal. I wouldn't mess with him. Yeah. I wouldn't mess with him. So he's making gains. He's doing his thing. We're making money, though. We're making money. All right, back to the base. Back to the base. Slave raid should be coming. They haven't already arrived. They're leaving. Is this the slave raid over here? Is that what this is? No. Where are they coming from? Oh, they're coming from right here. I see. I see. Okay. Okay. The other thing too is with the economy mod, we're gonna see more. We're gonna see more gains being made first thing in the morning because everyone in the town will get their allowances for the day. They'll go in, they'll buy things, and then at the end of the day, when the economy resets in the morning, they'll come in and they'll buy more stuff. So you're gonna be seeing the vast majority of the financial gains being made in the morning. All right, Rex, you need to get back to work. You need to get back to work making the drugs. Oof, we are ripping and roaring through water right now. We may have to go on a water run too after this slave raid is over. Have to run over to Bass and do a water run. This playthrough is a lot of micromanaging comparatively to like my Dwarves playthrough, where it was mostly like army management and whatnot. This playthrough is a lot more micromanaging, which is both good and annoying. It's both. It's both. It's largely both. All right, the Don and Ruka have returned. They have delivered their spoils and opened up shops, and we now have shops in 3 major cities, which is cool. We're gonna take them off block and passive, and we're gonna let them get to work. Operating stone mine. Why are we not doing it? Oh, the stone mine is full. I see. Okay, well then when you're not doing anything, you're gonna start making. Oh no! I crashed. Oh no! That's annoying. No, I don't want to open Steam. Stop it. Stop it. Hold on. The joy of Kenshi. It's because I have so much going on. It's fine. Don't worry about it. It's fine. It's fine. We're fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's my fault for running things on 3 times speed all the time. I need to stop doing that. My bad. Oh no. Good. Don't worry about it. I'm not worried about it. You shouldn't be worried about it. Are you worried about it? I'm not. I'm totally not worried about it. This is my not worrying about it face. This is my I'm not worried at all face. No, it's just because we have what is it, people in 3 different cities, and I'm trying to run the game at 3 times speed. I'm pretty sure I just was overdoing it. I gotta stop doing that. Gotta slow things down a little bit. I'm rushing too much. I'm just rushing too much. Too much rushing. We're loading. We're loading. Still loading. There it is. Damn it, it's right before I bought the fucking... I bought the thing before I built the thing. That's annoying. Okay, well, if that's going to be the case, then I think we're going to hold off on building there. That's obnoxious. If only there was co-op, it would be easier for you, literally. Literally. Alright, I think maybe building in Heft is going to be too much of a pain in the ass at the moment. What we're going to do then is we're going to head back to Stout. We're going to open a second store in Stout. We're going to man the second store in Stout. And we're going to go take care of that. And then after we do that, I think we're going to... we're going to go do a water run. Go do a water run. So, most unfortunate, but it's fine. Ah, dude, I know that co-op is like not likely to happen in Kenshi 2. It's probably not something they're thinking of, but dude, co-op would be so fucking cool. It would be so fucking cool. So cool, so cool. Wow, late on the notification. I just got the email notification that I was live. I had no idea. I've been live for 30 minutes now. I just got the email notification. If it's on the Unreal, it's possible it's going to be modded in. I mean, it's being modded into Kenshi 1 right now. Someone's working on it. So, if it's not there when it releases, it's going to be in this one. So I wouldn't worry too much about it. Eventually, we're going to get Kenshi co-op. It's just a matter of when. But we are getting it. Someone's modding it in. Hey, Ratsmith, how are you? Ratsmith is a cool dude. Ratsmith actually runs his own little stream situation. Runs his own little stream situation. I pop in on occasion, say hello. We'll drop off the product that we have here. Ruka, go ahead and drop off some sandwiches and some food cubes to this bish. Oh yeah. And apparently we are building. Nice. Beat the Canhead raid today. Ironsides came in clutch. They always do, my friend. They always do. They always do. Ironsides are our friend. Honestly, Ironsides are almost a necessity for me. Like, I don't think... Like, even when I do my Kenshi Jedi series, my Sith Lord series after this, I'm probably going to keep the Ironsides mod in. I'm going to have to delete, remove, 90% of my mods from my active load order when I'm doing the Project Cthulhu playthrough, but there's a couple that I'm going to keep, and I'm a level with you. Ironsides is probably one of them. Ironsides is probably one of them. How can you not, you know? Yeah, they have like some sync. It's just not totally synced. Like there's movements, equipment, like characters and stuff. They're all synced up. The issue is that some enemies and stuff aren't synced up. Have you seen the new Helldivers update? I have not. I have not been keeping track of Helldivers recently. I stepped away from it and I haven't gotten back in. I should though. I really should. My plan is to play. My plan is to play Helldivers on one of my non-Kenshi stream days one of these times. No, just haven't done it. The urge to reinstall Kenshi has been strong the last couple weeks. Do it. You won't regret it. You won't regret it. I assure you. Zap. It's fate. Why did your master say to put the blade away? Peace. Train never to use one skill. What a sham. Yeah, that nonsense. Alright. Join up. Oh my god. When you get 7,500 cats, you're a monster. Absolutely not. I'm not paying you that much. That's highway robbery. Highway robbery. I'm gonna go hire a slave. Hire a slave. I'm gonna go employ a slave. Yeah, see, we got plenty of reputable slaves here that can work the counter. Like that one. We've got that one. All right, where was my other shop at? It's right here, right? Is this the one? This is the one. There we go. Head on in here, long stout. I have your best interest at heart. Yes. I'm gonna give you some sandwiches. Very good, very good. Yeah. Good stuff. We got a lot of stuff in here. Things are gonna sell. We're gonna make good money. We're also going to take off these shackles because you're no longer enslaved. And we're going to put you in stout. In the stout group. You were in the stout group. Alright. Love it. Love it. There's blood in the street here. Why is there blood in the street? Western Hive here? No, but there are nomads. They're not slave. They're unpaid permanent interns. That's exactly what they are. You nailed it. You nailed it. Who are you chasing after? You're about to enslave somebody, but I want to know who. Gathering slaves for shipping. That is an interesting goal. That is an interesting goal. Where is this? He's at the barracks. I see. Bone dog. Yeah, that's the thing I'm looking for. I'm looking for the nomads so I can buy a bone dog. So I can name the aforementioned Bone Dog Raiden. That's the agreement. That was the deal that was struck. That was the deal that was struck. Everyone in Kenshi's an unpaid intern, especially in my playthroughs. Especially in my playthroughs. I don't pay my people. Who pays people? Not me. Not this guy. I don't pay people shit. I don't pay people nothing. The head nomad's got to be around here somewhere. It's just a matter of finding him. Just a matter of finding him. Eventually, they'll all group up, too. So if I can't find them now, I can find them on the way out. But I want to have Don and Ruka head back to the base for the sake of the sake of defending against that slave traders raid, because that's gonna be a problem. You know, I mean, it's not gonna be that bad, but like we are gonna need assistance for it because the slave raids are a little bit worse than like say triangle bandits or anything like that. They can actually do some damage. From the factions page, it seems like you're popular with the masses. I don't know. What am I? I mean, I have issues with like a lot of the bandit tribes, but I'm pretty popular. I think I'm pretty popular. I'm working with the United Cities Traders Guild. We're working on the Shinobi Thieves. Most of the ones that don't like us here are like bandit factions, cannibals. I imagine the Holy Nation. No, Holy Nation doesn't even actually have any issues with us. They just don't like us. They don't like anybody. And then the United Cities Hero League, because they're you know they're schoomers. But the Don's all about diplomacy, man. He's all about the diplomacy. Where is the goddamn nomad head? That's who I'm looking for. I'm looking for the nomad. The nomad head. That's all I want is the nomad. Around here somewhere. Just hovering over every NPC trying to find him. Rex will solo trust. I believe you. I believe you. Rex will be our salvation. He will save us. I have full faith. Full faith. The Slave Rebellion mechanic would be super cool. A Spartacus and John Brown playthrough could be fun. Yeah, it would be really cool if you could, like, other than, like, having to go through... Because the problem is, like, you can go through and unshackle slaves, right? And you can go through and you can break them out of their cages, and they can run, and some of them may fight. Problem is you have to do it one at a time. It would be really cool if like you could talk to a bunch of the slaves and like you could persuade them that when you break free from your shackles and you do all that stuff, that, or like when you initiate combat, all of them would break out of their cages and you could enter like a mass revolt all at once. It'd be cool to have some kind of sway where you could convince the slaves to break themselves out all at once rather than you have to go through one at a time and do all of that stuff, because it's honestly a pain in the ass. It's honestly a pain in the ass. And the payoff is not usually quite as good. Not quite as good. I remember my first encounter with the UC heroes. I thought they would save me as a hiver running from skimmers. They did not. Yeah, mistakes were made. Mistakes were made on that. They will not. They will not. The opposite, actually. The opposite, actually. They'll use you as a pelt. While also calling you heinous names. Can't forget the heinous names. Out of my way, peasant. Fuck you, guy. Go to my shop. Do it. Nope, he's going to go to the weapons dealer because he's scoom. What is he carrying? Oh, he's got size with him. What a douche. What a douche. What a douche, Nas. Everyone knows that Tontos are the more effective melee weapon. Everybody knows that. What a douche, Nas. Fine. If he goes, if the noble ends up in either of my shops, they'll buy a shit ton of our product. He's super helpful. Come on. Come on. I want to find these nomads so bad. I just need the nomads. Wherever they are. Although I may... so frustrating. Where are they? Wherefore art they? Maybe they're not an animal trader. That's the other problem, too. That's the other problem, too. And if they win, build a small village that can be moved from place to place. Also similar parts to real-world history. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Really cool stuff. I wish you could pledge yourself to a faction and gain ranks with them. Yeah, that'd be really cool, too. If you could, like, have a conversation with a leader and pledge yourself. And then it would give you negative affinity with those... Like, you can do it with some factions in the game. You can do it with some, but not enough of them, in my opinion. Not enough. And I did catch that. The whole out-of-my-way peasant, and then he can't afford whatever weapon he has in here. Yeah. Little pissant. Yes. Come buy my stuff. Buy my sandwiches and drugs. Sandwiches and drugs. Yes. It was a smart business move, guys. We booked sandwiches and drugs in the same place. And look at us now. Look at us now. My God. Dad would be so proud. Alright, these nomads gotta be around here somewhere. Here's what I'll do. I'm gonna speed up time, and I'm gonna wait a minute. And I'm gonna wait for the nomad caravan to gather up to leave, and then I should be able to do it. Then I should be able to do it. Imagine joining the UC military under Igor and fighting Holy Nation in a major battle. That'd be badass. They call him the Earl of Sandwich. That's us. The Earl of Dustwich. That sounds very British, doesn't it? The Earl of Dustwich. If you told me that I was the Earl of a province of Dustwich, I'd believe you. It sounds very British. Sounds very British. Doesn't even sound made up. It sounds British, which is hilarious. It's like the best part of it. Fits right in. Fits right in. Who are you? Who are you? You are not nomads. Waiting for these damn nomads to gear back to form back up so we can buy some dogs from. There's a war. They have a war dog in their group too. I want to buy their war dog specifically. Nomads. Okay. They're moving. Is there a nomad animal trader around here then, or are these not the kind of nomads that sell animals? We're just gonna pop right here. It looks like they're headed out, so I'm just curious as to who's in the front. They may not be the animal selling kind of nomad. No, it doesn't appear to be that way. Damn you, sir. I'll hang out until the rest of them get here, but it looks like we might be SOL on that one. May have to wait for the next one. For the next group of nomads. Wandering assassin, shinobi thieves, all that stuff. Cool, cool. Okay, all right. So they, you know, we're just gonna hang out for a second actually, because there is a possibility that we could raid these. Either of you guys? No. All right. Fantastic. You? No. All right. No. Nope. These Garo got up. Are they just gonna wait till he stands up? Because he's out cold, guys. He's out cold. Fantastic. What a chance we can take from this? Ah, there's nothing there. Damn it. Damn. Fine. All right. Well, we're gonna have to wait to the next time then. No, no animal this time. I tried. I did try, but there's no animal this time. That's fine though. We'll get it next time. We'll get it next time. If I see an animal trait, I'll get it. Always save twice, because crashes happen. Because this is Kenshi. This is sweet, sweet, succulent Kenshi. We're going to head back. Mission failed. We'll get them next time, boys. That's right. That's what it is. That's what it is. We'll get them next time. The mission was a temporary failure, but we'll get it. We will get it. We also need to nuggetize. We need to remove the legs from Cosmic at some point too. We have some legs for him. Pretty sure back at the base I have legs for him. Oh, good. Got my modded race to have animations too. That's good. That's good. That's good. Modded races not having animations is bad. What? Oh my god. One of our enforcers died. Guys, we're losing enforcers like fucking crazy. We may need to go on a run to grab more of those. I feel like we've lost like 3 or 4 of them. It's actually been quite frustrating. I think we lost somebody at the end of the last episode too. We lost one of our forced recruits. Guys, our Mafia is suffering some catastrophic losses. They were one of the enforcers that was working the mine. They were mining iron. Not quite sure what happened there. We don't need repair kits. We have skeleton beds. Vaughn yelled at me until I made them. We have repair beds. They're just not using them because they're fucking dipshits. And I don't know why. Are they set to not do that? No, they're set to sleep when injured. Yeah, so my skeletons are just being fucking stupid. God damn it. I know they're air bots, but my lord. I know they're error bots, but what the hell are you doing? You 3. Yeah, okay. You guys get over here. Come on. Fools. All of them fools. I know it will make the Phoenix receptive technology coolers. Oh my god, the tax man's here now too. Don, get out here. Come on, Donnie. Run! Run as fast as your magnetic legs will carry you. I don't know why I said magnetic. They're robotic. That was not the word that I wanted to come out of my mouth. That was not the word that I intended to say, and yet... Yeah, it does seem like several of my Mafia here are kind of brain dead, and they will literally just choose to let their injuries fester instead of doing anything about it until they inevitably just die. And that is degenerate behavior that I frankly do not support, nor do I understand. Several of them just refuse to heal themselves. I don't understand. We're going to go attack him, unprovoked, of course, even though he's definitely provoking me. Even though I have most definitely been provoked. No, come on, man. Go fight the slaver. They're attacking. They're attacking. Fight the slaver. Beat his ass. Alright, now you fight this slaver. Beat his ass. See that? Knock him down. There you go. There we go. Kill them all. Kill all of them. Every one of them. Kill all of them. Let God sort them out. Okay? There we go. Yeah, I'm gonna give some of them repair kits because it seems like they're just not interested in healing themselves. Apparently, they want to die. They have a desire to die. They have a death wish, a passive death wish. They want to die. Yeah. Don has repair kits on him. He's just he's just doing stuff. I don't know. He's doing stuff or not doing stuff depending on how you want to look at it. I don't know. He's got things going on. He's got stuff going on in the back end. You know what I'm saying? He's the Don. He's smart. He's the brains of the operation. But like sometimes shit gets a little, wires get crossed. You know, sometimes you gotta put people. You know, people gotta be put in their place. Does he have the repair job? He does. He does. I have everyone have the repair jobs. I know that you guys can't see it because my face is over in the bottom corner, but I set everyone to have like medic and repair because I find that having a dedicated medic is a pain in the ass because that medic goes down suddenly, then you know, no one's getting healed up or no one's getting healed effectively or we're wasting resources. So I have everyone do medic and repair. They just heal themselves. Makes things go faster. Prevents you know, resources from being you know, underutilized or anything like that, or overutilized. You know, charges go down faster and whatnot. We'll see you later. See you later, Dragon. Thank you for popping in. I appreciate it as always. Your continued support and patronage is always appreciated. Just seeing the corpses pile up at the gate. How's the gate doing? Pretty good. Just battering this place like a fish stick. Battering them all like a fish stick. They stand no chance against my army of poons. Does override priority sometimes. Kenshi's AI is not always the sharpest hammer. The sharpest hammer in the crayon box. Yeah. Yeah. Kenshi's AI can be pretty dumb sometimes, but you know, is what it is. We make do. We make do. I'm pretty sure there is a slave raider that is actually trapped underneath the platform here, and that's what they're swinging at. We're just gonna open this up and let you guys run out. All of you guys come over here because I'm pretty sure there's a slaver that's trapped underneath the platform there. I'm pretty sure that's what they're shooting at. Whoa. Who's that? Oh, it's a blood raider. Okay. What the hell's going on? What is going on? All right, Don, what are you doing right now? Engineer? Okay, they popped up now. Just a couple more. Just a couple more. A lot of harpoons. A lot of harpoons. They're getting pooned. Make that how you want. They certainly are. There he is. Okay. I keep the gate running until our harpoons get them. I don't know why they're having such a hard time shooting these guys. My God. Buzz McClanker, what are you doing? Get back on your harpoon turret. You fucking fool. Self-preservation. He's literally fighting the air. What is happening right now? Am I having a fucking stroke? I don't understand. Look at it. He's over here, like, going ham on the air. Is he at least getting experience for it, I guess? No. No, he's not. He's not. Nope. Nope. Just, he's shadow boxing while everyone else is trying to fight. While everyone else is fighting, he's shadow boxing. He is an airbot, so you know, I guess that's that. But yeah, he's over here shadow boxing. Don't worry about him. I guess. My God. No, you have a good night as well. You have a good night as well. My guy's over here shadow boxing. You guys doing? I know that you guys were taking some arrow fire a little while ago. Yeah. Shoot at that guy. There we go. Yeah. Oh my god, everyone's over here shadowboxing. Is my game having a fucking stroke? What is happening right now? When was your last Control Shift 11? Oh, I don't know. I don't know. Been a while. Let's hit it and find out. I'm gonna save it though in case I crash, because sometimes that happens when I do shit like that. "56 buildings have been saved with messed up data." Okay. Nope. Nope. We're still, even Rex is having a fucking having a stroke. Everyone's just over here going ham on invisible enemies. We're fighting ghosts right now. We're all fighting everyone's fighting ghosts right now. I'm wondering if there's enemies trapped under the map, to be honest. I'm wondering if it's something like that. Hold on, I'm gonna reload it actually and see if that fixes it. Sometimes that happens. Sometimes that happens. Enemies get trapped under the map or something like that, and the game doesn't know how to deal with it. And so you have people just attacking the floor, hitting the area where their body's supposed to be. The Don's Business Ghost Hunters. That's what it is. It's a new enterprise. Corpse Explosion. You guys see that shit? It's raining men. Jesus Christ. It's raining men. Those bananas. Buzz McClanker over here. Joey Deadeye Diaz. Okay, yeah, you guys need to get back into the base. Hojiro, okay, yeah, all of you guys need to get back into the base. Because currently you're not in the base, and that's as the kids would say, that's unacceptable. Yeah, all right. So it was just I think there was enemies trapped. Yeah, there was enemies trapped under the ground, and they couldn't reach it. They couldn't reach them. Truly unhinged behavior. That's what that is. Truly unhinged behavior. All right. So everyone needs to my non-skeleton units are typically pretty good about healing themselves up, but my skeleton units, not so much. Not so much. We are gonna have to have someone go heal them up. First aid on Pew. Right? Oh, Jesus Christ. Kenshi is in rough shape, too. He's getting first aid. We're going to have the Don go do first aid on Kenshi. Repairs on him. You're good. You're good. How are you doing? You get up here. And you get up here. Man, just got my person's arm shot off with one hit with a crossbow, 3x damage. Yep, that'll do it. That'll do it. That'll do it. Alright, so I think we're good in terms of electrical components. I don't think we need any more of those for right now, so I'm actually going to take you off of the electrical component work. And I'm going to have you move on to harvesting. How are we doing on hemp? Oh yeah, we are fucking solid on hemp, so we don't have to worry about that per se. Alright. Who was working on hemp process? Rex was also working hemp processing. What's he dragging his feet for? Is it water? I'm pretty sure it's water. Yeah, we need to go get some water. Not enough water. Right. Inventory. Does he have a full inventory? Oh, he can't grab water because of the because of that. That makes sense. Okay, so we need to ditch those. We gotta ditch his old dungarees. There we go. Now he can do stuff. Good. Definitely not from the Traders Guild. No, they are not. They are not from the Traders Guild. That's true. Someone's attacking our gate. I'm again pretty sure he's under. Oh no, he's right there. Slave caravan guard. Okay, not worried about that. We'll let him just continue what he's doing. Best chew sticks in the world? Yeah, we'll pass. Thank you, good sir. We'll pass. All right, how's Burn doing? Let's pop back over to see what Burn and Longstout are doing. How's their shop counters doing? They're doing. Longstout, how about you? Selling a little bit. Okay. How about Grink? Grink, how are you? Grink's making money. Grink's making money. Slow money, but he's making money. Slowly but surely. You may be wondering to yourself, who is Shirley? Well, not enough Vespine gas. That's what it is. That's what it is. You nailed it. You nailed it. You absolutely nailed it. Rink, why is your hunger just staying perpetually high? Are you just like taking little nibbles off of this cactus, this dust witch here? I'm assuming that's what's happening right now. Funny. All right, Dustin, how you doing? It's going. It's going. We're making money. We've got our shop stalls opened up. We're making cash. Slow cash, but we're making cash. Yeah. Hero is such a casual. He mined 0 Vespine this entire run. That's what it is. That's what it is. I don't even put MSG in my sandwiches. I don't know what to tell you. I don't even put MSG in my sandwiches. Manhunters? Oh, this is unfucking acceptable. Unfucking acceptable. Shoot these manhunters in the face. Shoot them in the face right now. There will be no manhunters here. Absolutely not. We hunt no men. Not in this place. Fantastic. Sensational, one might say. Our aim is terrible. I gotta level with you. Our aim is terrible. The hell happened there? You guys see that shit? That is one of the most horrifying things I think I've ever seen. Oh my god, that poor fool. Oh my god, he's strung up to the wall by his dome. This may be one of the... Oh, there it is. There it is. He fell off. He fell off. Alright. A lot of bodies over here. A lot of bodies. Whoa, elite noble guard. Does that mean there's a noble hunter around here? I hope not. We're running a drug operation. Tech hunters? Yeah. Yeah. All right. There is one other place that I also want to start up a business, start up a little potential business. Actually, we're going to run over to the Great Desert. We're going to take all of our drugs and run over to Tech Hunter territory. Specifically, we're going to run not to Flats Lagoon, but we're going to run to the way station over here and sell some of our product. Our producto. What are we doing on that? Oh, we need water first, actually. We need water first. So you, and you. And I think we're also going to bring Kenshi with us because he... yeah. So the 3 of you guys come with us. We're going to go on a water run. We're going on a water run. Oh, Kenshi's got water on him. Still need more water, though. Alright. Three of you guys going on a water run. Hello, Principal. How are you? How for art thou? Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream. Kind of a lighter evening. It's funny actually. We've been averaging like 200. The other last stream we broke 300, which was crazy. But seems like it's gonna be a lighter stream this time. Seems like it's going to be a lighter evening. Then again, I always say that, and then we end up having like what is it, around like 10:30, 11 o'clock, we suddenly get fucking 250, 300 people in here. Who knows? Who knows? As always, guys, if you have any questions about Kenshi lore or anything like that, or you guys want to, ask me anything, please feel free to ask away. You guys, not only are these streams like one of the two purposes of these streams is to interact with the community and answer questions, but also it lets me farm clippable moments, and we all know I love farming clippable moments. So, if you guys have any questions about the lore or anything like that, anything you're uncertain of, anything I haven't asked yet, do ask. Do let me know. Try my best to answer. There are some things I don't know. Some of the smaller factions I'm not really sure. But I know quite a bit about a lot of the other stuff. I'm fine. Thanks for asking. What about you? I am. I'm doing. I'm doing. Admittedly, I'm a little tired today. I'm a little tired today. It's just been a long couple of weeks. What is a Kenshi? A Kenshi is a beautiful deserted marble floating in space. But Kenshi is also a blind man from Mortal Kombat that uses telekinesis. So I mean, whichever way you want to look at that. Do you think it will be an utter wasteland in Kenshi 2, besides places like Stobe's Garden, which would be saved? No, it's not going to be a wasteland. It's going to be, if anything, it's going to be less of a wasteland. It's going to be very rich in water, and there's going to be maybe a little bit better plant life, more fauna. I expect it to be, it's still going to be like a bit of a wasteland, like Kenshi 1 is, because it's still Kenshi. They have to maintain the things that make it, what it is. But I think I don't think it's going to be like an absolute barren wasteland. No, I think that it's going to be a lot more fertile in many areas. I think that it's going to be more populated. It's going to be filled with water, trade, agriculture. I think that it's going to be more lively, if anything, and not just in terms of fertility, but like just in general. I think it's going to be a lot more lively, much more lively indeed. The hell are these floating boxes? You see that shit? What is that? Okay. Having a full-on stroke over here. I swear this save is like... Okay, I don't really know what's up with that. That's fine. No one touched the ghost box. Heed no mind to the ghost box. It's literally cursed. Literally cursed. I don't know what they are. I have no idea. They're not. I didn't build them. I don't know what they are. I know that it's rendering for far away, but like rendering of what? There's no fucking buildings here. Unless it's for like a mod that I had a long while ago. Sometimes I've had that issue where like far away renderings will pop in for old mods that I don't have installed anymore. But like I don't, as far as I know, I've never had anything installed there. So I don't really know. Run. Ah, goddamn Holy Nation, man. Run, Forrest, run. Fine, it's fine. What I find more mysterious in Kenshi 1 is the planet. The satellite's face is locked to Kenshi's planet. Is the planet plus the satellite face locked to Kenshi's planet. Also is pretty cool to see the Milky Way and other stars. I mean, we don't necessarily know if it's the Milky Way. It's probably not. It's probably whatever galaxy that Kenshi takes place in, because whether it's considered canon anymore or not, Chris and the team at one point did say that Kenshi is like Earth is not in Kenshi, or like that's not part of their prime history as far as we know. But that could easily have been retconned. We don't really know. But no, I would like to learn more information about the planet that Kenshi orbits, or the other satellite that is in proximity. God, you guys really are pulling that pursuit right now, my lord. I would definitely like to learn more about the planet and whatnot that it goes. How big would you say Kenshi's star is? I mean, it's got to be comparable to our own star in terms of both distance and, not necessarily size, but like the distance and the size must be comparable to our own in a measurable way, or they must have an aspect that like a ratio that is comparable in order to support life, I'm assuming. What color is the sun? Yellow. It's a yellow sun. Yeah, it's a yellow sun. It's a yellow sun. Move. God, they're still chasing us. They're going to chase us all the way there, aren't they? It's our sun size. Then yeah, it's got to be a yellow sun. So, it looks bigger in the side than our own sun. I mean, the alternative is that it's a sun that is. I mean, like you can have yellow suns that are bigger, but the alternative is that it's a sun that is, bigger, and maybe the planet that Kenshi orbits is actually farther away, but it's still far enough away where the ratio is still inside the that like ideal zone where the temperature would fall under into the correct parameters. There's a lot to consider on that. When I began playing, I was wondering if the other planet here have living beings that are looking at Kenshi. I don't think so, to be honest with you. I don't think so, unless that's the where the First Empire came from, because there's reason to believe that the First Empire was primarily comprised of like a mega corporation, or was like a city, not a city, like like the Kenshi was essentially a corporate colony. There's mentions in some of the old Lifter arms about corporations and stuff like that. It may not have been a colony, but like a corporation, and that's why they were so heavy on industry, because they were a business that went awry. Because the First Empire was heavily based in industry. They weren't really militaristic at all. They seemed to be almost entirely focused on innovation and industry. And so if they were a corporation, that would make sense. If they came here for the purposes of mining, if they came here for the purposes of resource collection or production, anything like that, that would make a lot of sense. So it kind of, it's hard to say. Why are the Empire Noble Guards trying to open my gate? That's what I want to know. Why are they trying to open my gate? The healing? Who are they healing? Who got fucked up here? They're healing the slave traders. I guess that makes sense. The slave traders are allies with the United Cities, so I guess that makes sense. Little annoying considering the slave traders, attacked me. Oh shit. Okay. Move at top speed, you two. Kenji, your job is going to be to attack these triangle bandits and try to hold them down for a minute. Taunt. Yeah, all right. Give us just an extra second for Ruka and Don to get back into the base so we can shut the gate here. All of you guys need to not run out there. That'd be fantastic. It would also make more sense why they didn't come back, because it wouldn't be profitable to conquer a planet. It would be profitable to conquer the planet most likely. Yeah, well, that's the other thing. Like if they were a company or any kind of conglomerate or anything like that, like it doesn't. They're not going to send people back for this place. It was a dead. It was an expenditure, an expedition, an attempt at setting up a warehouse or anything like that. It just didn't work. So they gave up on it. Quite possible that Kenshi was just a byproduct of corporate greed gone awry, and now we're looking at the long-term consequences. This is what happens: mega corporations, people buying planets, planets buying people. Creation of life, etc., 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 etc. I hope the Hybers get some sort of universal religion where they're from, where they form their own opinions on how they were made, some type of Hyber god, even if we know how they're made. It would be cool to see all that. Aren't the Hyber Queens immortal and know how they're made? I mean, I think that they don't age, and I do think that they are the original Hyber Queens. I don't think that they are, I think they're the original Hyber Queens from the Second Empire, yeah. In terms, like, they're not technically immortal, they're ageless, which, are functionally two separate things, right? Like, it's important to be clear on the distinction there. But yeah, so if that is the case, they may very well know how they were made. But also they kind of seem to speak their own language. So it's interesting to think that one of all of the beings that may potentially, other than skeletons, who, actively choose to not divulge that information, all of the beings who actively could divulge the information are batshit or don't speak our native tongue anymore. Like the Hyber Queens speak in Rees. The Bugmaster has gone functionally insane and speaks in Rees. It's interesting to think that all of the beings that may very well be able to provide us with like some kind of answer to the questions we have about the history of Kenshi, they're all insane. or they're all incapable of communication, or they all actively choose to not communicate, depending on whatever source you're looking at. But it's an interesting idea to you know, take a peek at, to ponder, to notice. Nice. Okay, so you guys can pop on over here. No, sorry, runners. You guys pop on over here. Have we dropped off all of our water yet? Bop, 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 ba-dop, bop, ba-dop. We have, and they already took it. My God, you guys are insatiable. Insatiable. Well, it'll at least buy us a couple of minutes, I suppose. What are we doing on food production? Lots of food cubes. We do love the food cubes. Lots of food cubes being produced. Very good, very good. It's probably because they messed up stuff during the Second Empire. I mean, the Hyrule didn't do anything as far as we know. They were made at the tail end of the Second Empire, and you know, they were victims, if anything. You know, they were the byproduct of heavy experimentation that made them something that's, you know, so far indistinguishable from humanity that they're not even considered, you know, anything even close anymore. The Bugmaster is, you know, riddled with guilt and anger about everything that happened during his time in the Second Empire, if you know, my theories on his situation are to be believed. And you know, the skeletons obviously choose not to divulge anything because they're giant hypocrites that committed all of the same crimes they tried to wipe out humanity for. So, you know, it's just an interesting situation. It's definitely an interesting situation. All right, Don, you're gonna grab your grab the hashishes. Come up here and grab the hashishes. Take that, and we're gonna run over to Tech Hunter territory, and we're gonna sell some stuff there. Sell some stuff there. Absolutely sweet. Jesus. Holy shit. Okay. Okay. Sorry. Hold on. I just had like a heart attack for a minute. What the hell? Okay. Holy crap. Matt Jacobs, got a build request for you. Think of the super chat as your commission. I'm doing the Universal Wasteland expanded run on the Empire Strikes Back run, skeletons only, and want a thematic base for my skeleton army. I need access to all UC territories, specifically Brink and Catan. I'd love to use the Ashlands Dome as the centerpiece, but you only use skeleton buildings. I will get to work on that. I'll have that video done within the next couple of days, like next 2-3 days. And I'll get that for you. Do you want it in a build video, or do you want like, how do you want this? Shit, maybe I'll end up doing it on stream tomorrow. Maybe I'll do a build stream tomorrow if that's what you want. $500, absolutely. My God, dude, what the fuck, man? I was not expecting this. Whew. I feel a type of way. I need a minute. Holy shit. Yeah, how do you want this? Would you prefer to do it in live stream, or do you want me to release a build video, or do you want me to build it and then you know, send you screenshots? How do you want this? I'll get you a concept. I'll put something together for you. I've never used the Ashland domes as a centerpiece, but I'm sure I can cook something up with that. Ashland domes. You can make a nice gate with the skeleton workshops. Yeah, I could put something together. Absolutely. Okay. Yeah, no, I'm it's gonna be waking the wife up tonight. Yeah, you're goddamn right. I'm gonna be. Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, so yeah, I'll figure this out. I will figure this out. You'll get something. Give me like a day or two at most. I might end up doing it on live stream tomorrow. I was going to do more Nugget Mafia tomorrow, but I'm thinking you prefer a build video? Okay, cool. Cool. All right, so I'll get a build video put together, and I'll have that out next day, next couple of days, next like 2-3 days. Absolutely. Absolutely, we'll get that put out. Hard part's going to be to find space for it. Oh, I'll find space for it. You need to have access to all UC territories. All UC territories. Specifically Brink and Catan, which is over here. So Catan is right here. Brink is right there. And it's an all-skeleton run, so I'm probably Venge. I mean, if it's going to be an all-skeleton building, it's probably going to end up being in Venge. Yeah. Sorry, guys. I've got a game plan this now. Yeah. Okay, so Venge makes sense. Easily defended, especially for skeletons. Decent access to UC territories. You don't have to worry about raiding. And it's got good peaks and cliffs, which means I can make it look nice. Okay, we've got a plan. We've got a plan. We've got a plan. Space, I'm not worried about space. I can make space out of anywhere when it comes to builds. Peaks, valleys, all that stuff, we'll figure it out. Venge is solid, though. And we don't have to worry about agriculture, which makes it... agriculture makes it, you know, the tough part. But if we don't have to worry about that, then Venge will work just fine. Venge will work just fine. Holy shit. Okay. I'm feeling a type of way right now. You just like boggled my little brain. Oh my god. Never in all my years. Well, thank you. Thank you very much. Literally, bro's palms are getting more than sweaty. I'm like having heart palpitations over here. Take your time. I'm using your Stove City for my reawakening run at the moment. I'll be doing Empire Strikes Back afterwards. Yeah, no, I'll get that done pretty quick though. I'll have that done ASAP. I'll probably work on it tomorrow, to be honest with you. It'll take me a little bit of time to get the narration part done, but yeah, I'll have that done ASAP. Okay. Jesus Christ. I gotta get back in the game. Focus, Dave. Focus. What was I doing? Oh, right. I was going to the Grey Desert. Going to the Grey Desert. Oh my God, I'm glad the Stove City's working out for you. Hell yeah, dude. I am very happy that Stove City is working out for you. I put a lot of work into that one, so I've been one of the things I've been doing a lot recently, and for anybody that was on my my building live stream on Sunday, where I built Leviathan, I double stacked lagoon platforms and used them to make a tiered city. I've been really trying, especially in my most recent build videos, to like push the envelope of what can be done and still be functional. I've been trying to make as many bases like really teeter on the edge of like the possibilities for the build engine and for Kenshi, to make them both functional and aesthetic, because I feel like every time I do a build I push it further, and so like me just building like a compact castle isn't satisfactory anymore. It's not enough, you know, so I've got to build vertically. I've got to stack lagoon platforms. I've got to, you know, make Minas Tirith out of swamp platforms and shit. So I've been really trying to push the envelope with it. I'm glad people have been enjoying it, for sure. That's badass. That's awesome. I've never used the Ashland Dome in a building, so I am excited about the prospect of doing that, though. Put some buildings on huge buildings on top of buildings. What is it? Pens that look like microphones that look like pen. Corporate espionage. Put some buildings on the huge buildings. Oh, we're gonna be putting some buildings on the huge buildings. All right. Absolutely. Can you recommend some mods with more structures? I only use vanilla, but in the future I want more buildings. Yeah, there's a bunch of them. I would recommend Forgotten Buildings for sure. The Storm Buildings mod is really, really good. I use, what else do I use? There's one that adds like Japanese style buildings that I really like. I just don't use it because I think that oh yeah, Deep Foundations is basically essential at this point. Excuse me. Deep Foundations is basically essential at this point. Hive buildings. There's 3 separate mods I use that add different variations of hive buildings. So they add like hive towers, they add hive storm houses, they add hive station houses, they add hiver walls. The hive towers in particular are like one of my favorite buildings from that mod. Really, really good. Yeah, if you look in the description for my videos, you'll get a link that goes to Steam, where it will it lists all of my mods out. Just dig through there, and there's a good handful of them. But I really like the storm walls. The storm walls up. Storm walls mod is really, really good. Really enjoy that one. I use that one quite extensively on my dwarf playthrough for Garzumi Keep. I think you could live. I think you could live in the hive with that one. I think. Yeah, literally. I love the hive tower. Like the hive tower is so good. It looks good. It's not just they didn't just retexture the tower to like the watchtower to be like hyper textured. They actually added like there's balconies on every single level. And so if you put it in the center, you have balconies, and each balcony is like one's here, then the second level one's here, and the third level one's back here. And so what it means is that if you put it in the center, you have a 360 view where you could put turrets down and hit everything. It's so fucking cool. It's so fucking cool. Yeah, it's a really cool mod. One of my favorites. And I really like the Hyver walls. The Hyver walls are cool. Adds a lot of variation. Oh no, the hashish doesn't have an increased sell price here. Are you tech hunters? You are tech hunters. I wonder why. That's unfortunate. That is unfortunate. It's fine. I'm already here. I might as well sell it. It's fine. 35,000. Ah, God, I got like 4,000 cats for that. Most unfortunate. All right, we're gonna have you stop off in here and rest up for a little bit. And hello, what are they buying from this shop counter that's worth 1,000 cats? It's probably, you know what? It's probably rations. Probably rations. Show me what you got. Yeah, yep, it's these ration packs. Interesting. You know something that is really interesting? Have you made a build with a huge tower in it, something like the Dark Tower? It's difficult because buildings don't stack on top of each other very well in Kenshi. So for instance, if I were to go in the Shift F12, I can make a building, like I could place a swamp platform and put this tower on top of it and it will work. I can place a station house down, and then on the front, like the front porch area, I can have the stairs from this tower go onto that front porch, and then it will work. But what you can't do is I can't put a tower up high in the air and then have the stairs to that tower cross the roof of the building, because the roof of the building has a wall that basically goes straight up that blocks nav mesh to prevent characters from being able to walk off the side of a building. And there's not a height limit on that. It's just walk off the side of the building, can't be done. So even if you're like way up high, it's still, you can't cross that threshold. So stacking buildings up has to be done in a very, very nuanced way. Otherwise, you run to the issue of, like I said before, the nav mesh won't work. So it's it's tough to make like super tall towers. Now, theoretically, if you were to take swamp platforms, line them up in a circular motion, and then cover them in walls, you could make a Minas Tirith style building and then have it go up super high and make that the centerpiece, but that's going to be very, very clunky. It's going to be very, very large. There might be ways to do it theoretically if you were to take like the smaller swamp platforms and stack them up, but it could be difficult. To clarify, when I say skeleton buildings, anything in the game that has the darker texture will qualify. So longhouses, storm houses, small shacks, step houses, and all outpost buildings are fine. Okay, so like when you say darker textures, you mean stuff like this? Because I was gonna stick with metal buildings or with the darker versions of the Moore building. If you're fine with those, because there are some like dark brown variants of the Moore buildings. Like I'll pull it up for half a second just so you can see what I'm talking about. But what is it? There's some dark variants of the Moore buildings that actually look pretty good in terms of that. So I was going to use primarily metal, like the metal buildings, like warehouses and stuff like that, in conjunction with more buildings in the dark brown category. If that would be all right, because I think that would work and flow very well. Either the dark brown or the squared variants. I think that would work very well with the like it would work very well in terms of palette with things like the metal warehouse and stuff like that. Because I've got an idea cooking up in my head right now of like ways that I can use some of these buildings that I think would look really, really good. Yeah, I'm cooking something up. I'm cooking something up. Then use the Ashland Dome as a centerpiece. It's gonna be really nice. It's gonna be really nice. I'm basting now. I'm basting in theories and ideas. I'm basting in concept. All right, we're gonna switch over. We're gonna save it firstly. Nugget Mafia. That. And then we're gonna switch over to my brain's not working. I'm still like kind of lost in it right now. My brain's not working wholly. I'm gonna switch over here. Do I have anybody attacking my base right now? No, we don't have any assaults for a couple of days. Fantastic. All right, we're gonna speed this up because now that it's the next day, some people should be coming in to buy things. We should be having people buy things. Yes, yes, buy stuff. Why you no buy things? Why you no buy things? You know what, actually, I'm gonna go get more. Are they attacking right now? Empire Ninja, Empire Samurai Conscript. Who's attacking who right now? The Tech Hunters. Oh! Nothing better than watching a true master based in their ideas. Yeah, I appreciate it. Oh my god, dude! Yeah, this is crazy. The Tech Hunters are fighting with the UC. That's wild. Unexpected too. Unexpected. He's also got a foreign greatsword, and you see how he's whipping that fucking thing around? Oh my god! Made him say it on stream. I don't know if I'd go so far as to say true master, but I do try to. There's definitely I've definitely seen some people. Oh my god, do you see this guy? Like he's going to lose, but like I admire the grit this man's putting out there. He's like doing 360s and jumping in the air. Oh my god, dude, that man's putting that foreign greatsword to work. He's putting it to work. Honestly, I'm impressed. I'm fucking impressed. Where's that man at? Hey, he bought some of my drugs. That's funny. I'm impressed. I am impressed. I'm so impressed that when he goes to jail right now, I think I'm going to go recruit him. Loot. Does he have any weapons on him? If I'm able to, I think I'm going to try and recruit him. I'm that impressed with this man. My dude was absolutely killing it. I'll leave you to it. I'm currently posted in the Southwest Deadlands with a Black Desert City clone with a moat right now with no access to stone, which Universal Wasteland Extended requires to produce steel. Yeah, that'll do it. That'll do it. That'll do it. Yeah, we'll get it worked out. We'll get something put together for you. And again, thank you so much, my dude. You just like boggled my tiny brain. I was not expecting this in any capacity. So thank you so much. Huge support. My God. My dude just made like my entire month of streaming, basically. Like, holy shit. Yeah, am I able to potentially? Yeah, I gotta pay this dude's bounty. Maybe, perhaps, mayhaps. Burn, you're a respected member of the UC Society. Guy makes one mistake, goes to jail, gets pulled into a life of crime. Tragically common story. It is. It's a tale as old as time. It's a tale as old as time, unfortunately. Tale as old as time. He was just a simple tech hunter before, and now he works for the mob. Who are we fighting now? Oh, the United States Heroes League. They're going at. Wait, what the? Oh, and mercenaries. Okay, and the mercenaries. I'm here to bail a friend out. Nope, nothing there. What's your opinion about Flinch and World's End? What specific? What specifically is your like? What do you mean specifically? I guess is the question. Like, do I appreciate him? Do I not? Because like, the man's trying to compile the history of the world. I always get Finch and EO confused, admittedly, but the man's trying to compile the history of the world and put things back the way they're supposed to be, or allegedly trying to learn the truth, the truth behind humanity. But at the same time, he's being undermined. I think he has good intentions. I like the idea of what he's doing. Whether or not he's going to be able to successfully do so is a different thing. I wonder why do a Hiver get so intelligent? Only University and Kenshi, and about tech hunters in general and the city. To me, they're my second favorite faction. Tech hunters are definitely amongst one of my favorite factions. A lot of them. The tech hunters are interesting to me because they're like a conglomeration of different ideas that all just mesh really well. On one side, you have the head of the tech hunters, and his main purpose is the reconciliation of Kenshi's history. It's knowledge. It's the hoarding of information and knowledge for the purposes of understanding them and moving forward. And I think that people like him creating a university and stuff is ultimately, in my opinion, what's going to cause the probable renaissance in the future of Kenshi. I've talked about this before in recent streams, and I talked about it in a short that actually came out today, although some people gave me some flack for it because of my particular use of terminology, but I did it on purpose. The face of Kenshi is very much headed towards a renaissance, and when you look at the history of Kenshi as a whole, Kenshi is very much mirrored in our own real world, right? The Second Empire was very, very much mirrored in terms of the fall of the Roman Empire, right? They were very, not just in their story, but also in their nomenclature too, which is why we can kind of tie them to that. So, for instance, the Second Empire, they used legionnaires. They had an emperor. They fell, and then they fell as a result of growing too large, not being able to properly maintain their regions, famine, rebellions, secessions. People just stopped listening. The empire fell apart and rotted from within as a result of all of those things. That's all consistent with the Roman Empire. In addition to that, after the Roman Empire fell, specifically, I mean, I guess you could kind of compare it to the Eastern Roman Empire, the Byzantine Empire, because the Byzantines also never created anything; they only repurposed and reconfigured, similarly to the Second Empire. But tomato, tomato. The point is that the Second Empire is based largely on the Roman Empire. Now, when the Roman Empire fell, what immediately presided? The Roman Empire fell around, I believe it was like 1000 AD. Is when it fully fell, and what immediately presided it? It was several hundred years of what was formerly called the Dark Ages, but is now called the early medieval era. Now, I made the point in the video that I posted today that the Dark Ages were a time of alleged scientific repression by the church, and it wasn't full scientific repression. It was isolated scientific repression in favor of things that didn't challenge Christianity or challenge the heavily Catholic viewpoint. However, Catholicism also had a monopoly on information, and they would do things like create universities for the purpose of advancement. Now, one of the common misconceptions about it is that it used to be called the Dark Ages, and this all ties back to Kenshi. I'll get to the point in a minute. One of the common misconceptions about it is that it used to be called the Dark Ages, but that's not really a term that's accepted anymore. I used it in the video today because it's the term that most people are familiar with. The truth is that, you know, some people say that the Dark Ages were a myth. They're not a myth as much as they are misrepresented. You know, it's an outdated term. It's more of a misrepresentation. It's more of a misrepresentation, because even though there was advancement during the Dark Ages or the early medieval era, you know, the Dark Ages is a simplification that ignores the advancement in agriculture, development of new smaller kingdoms, and certain works of art of things like, you know, poetry and certain types of writing and stuff like that. However, it is important to note that at the fall of Rome, there was a massive power vacuum that led to the disintegration of centralized government. It led to a decrease in long distance trade. It led to a period of largely localized power structures and localized governments and struggles for power on a localized scale. Tons of independent city-states, the rise of Germanic kingdoms, the widespread famine and diseases, and as a result, during the course of what used to be called the Dark Ages, and what is now referred to as the early medieval era, it was largely stagnant in terms of progression comparably to the area that would immediately precede it, being that of the Renaissance. There was progress. It wasn't completely resigned, but it was slow, stagnant process. It wasn't very good. Okay. And that's the period that immediately followed the Roman Empire. Now, the Roman Empire falls, and what became one of the dominant superpowers on Kenshi? The Holy Nation. The Holy Nation, which is a direct mirror to the Abrahamic religions of, you know, the Judeo-Christian beliefs, the Zoroastrianism, the, you know, Western European belief system. They're structured the same, their nomenclature is the same, their beliefs are the same. So the Holy Nation represents the Dark Ages. It represents the early medieval era, and the tail end, the very end of that era, was the Crusades. Now, what is happening on Kenshi right now? The Holy Nation, the representation of the Eastern medieval society, is going wildly expansionist, and they invaded other territories in a crusade. They are holding a holy crusade with the under the rule of the 62nd Lord Phoenix against the enemies of Narco. They're trying to reclaim the land in favor of Okran. They're burning out the nobles. The crusades are actively happening on Kenshi in Bast. So what happens right after the crusades, right? Right after the crusades. Right after the crusades is the technological renaissance. That was the early beginning of the technological renaissance. And so who's going to, if you know, Kenshi's history is anything to follow with that, and mind you, it doesn't just start at the Roman Empire and the Second Empire. It starts all the way back at the First Empire. You know, the idea of having a technologically advanced civilization that was wiped off the face of the map, and then there was a massive ice age and humanity regressed all the way back down to the Stone Age, is something that has been postulated in our own history, theorized about in our own history for a long time. So technologically advanced civilization, wiped off the face of the map, ice age occurs, tons of times passed, humanity ends up devolving and then has to re-evolve into civilization. The Roman Empire happens, the Roman Empire falls. The medieval ages or the Dark Ages, depending on what term you choose to use, happens. And then at the tail end of that is the Crusades, which is exactly what is happening right now with the Holy Nation in Bast. And in addition to that, also the United Cities lines up very well with the end of the Edo period, heading into the Meiji Restoration, in which the United Cities, currently being a representation of the Edo period, a independent conglomeration of daimyos or lords that were, or nobles in Kenshi's case, that were operating under the guise of being unified by an emperor, but they were actually answering to the shogunate, is the same thing that's happening as well. The shogunate in this case being either Igor or Langan instead of the emperor, who was just a figurehead, just like it was during the Edo period. At the end of the Edo period, the shogunate is disbanded, and the power goes back to the emperor, and the Meiji Restoration happens, and then the Industrial Revolution happens. So the period that's immediately going to follow The United Cities, based on where they are in their referential history to Japanese history, is the Industrial Revolution. The Holy Nation is immediately at the Crusades, which is the tail end of the medieval era, where they are based off of. What happens immediately after that? The Renaissance. Kenshi is right on the cusp of beginning to advance technologically once again. And mind you, this isn't going to be a jump from their current level of tech into the space age. They're not going to jump all the way from their current level of tech back into a hyper advanced megalithic society of space age, but technology is going to start moving forward quickly again. You're going to start seeing advancements in things like art, architecture, industrialization, technology. They're going to start moving forward again. And I think the reason why I'm tying all this together is that it's going to happen as a byproduct of two things: the tech hunters and the Western Hive. The Western Hive have already showed that they have the proclivity for understanding technology. They've already started to build advancing tech. In addition to that, the Western Hive, in addition to that, the tech hunters have access to advanced tech, right? That they necessarily can't recreate, but they can start to reverse engineer and create new things using the tech that they're reverse engineering from that advanced civilization, and they can start moving forward again. Again, the issue is not that it's supposed to be a jump from space age, like from Kenshi's current technology back to First Empire tech. It's just that technology is going to start moving forward again. And I think that that mirror is one of the reasons that we're not getting a Kenshi 2 in the future. We're getting a prequel because tech is going to start moving forward based on the way that things are moving. Kenshi's history is very, very mirrored to our own in terms of like each civilization on Kenshi has a direct mirror, and their history is following that direct mirror. It's there, and that's exactly. I said in my Kenshi, which faction has the most chance to succeed currently on the face of Kenshi, it's the Holy Nation. They're the most stable. They have, the best in terms of agriculture and farmland. They have more secure borders than anybody else does. They have less infighting, and even though they're fighting a war on three fronts, they are still actively, like, their lands are actively safe. With what we have presented to us in the game, the Holy Nation seems to be the most likely to succeed. And I think that is going to end up happening is it's going to be a two-pronged approach. Mind you, this is purely hypothetical. There's no way for me to prove this because we're not getting a Kenshi 2 in the future, right? We're not getting a Kenshi 2 set in the future. We're getting a Kenshi 2 set in the past. I think the Holy Nation is going to win against the United Cities. I think the United Cities is going to end up imploding again, and I think that the United Cities is going to end up being restructured into an industrial revolution under a new emperor once I think Longan is going to end up getting ousted. When Longan dies, a new emperor, they will turn their attention towards Tengu. Tengu will be removed from the throne, and a new emperor will take over. Proper imperial authority will retake over the United Cities, and they will enter an industrial revolution under a new emperor that is working in tandem with the tech hunters to refurbish and restore technology. I think after the 62nd Lord Phoenix dies, the next Phoenix, seeing the scars of everything that has happened, will be significantly more progressive than the current Phoenix and will start making rapid alterations to their religion and start instituting like actual reform to their religion and to their beliefs, to be less hostile, to be less heinous, to remove some, like, it'll go through that same reformation that Christianity did towards the end, to remove basically what was the Old Testament and create the New Testament. I genuinely think the future for Kenshi is positive. And I think that's why we're not getting a Kenshi 2 in the future. It's because Kenshi 2 Kenshi 1 is in an era right before, an area of severe strife that is right before an industrial revolution, right before a cultural renaissance, right before a technological renaissance, right before a reformation of various of religions, right before a reformation of the Holy Nation, before a United Cities becomes properly united under an emperor instead of a figurehead operating under the shogunate. I think that we're going to see the UC is going to enter the Meiji Restoration period of Japan. And I think the Holy Nation is going to enter the Renaissance period of Europe. That's what I think is next for Kenshi. So that's my thing. That's what I think. That's my thing. I think if the Holy Nation goes through a reform, there will be splinter factions that break off trying to maintain the old ways. Probably. But you have to think, though, if the Holy Nation sprints off and breaks off and tries to maintain the old ways, of course there's going to be people that are going to be religious extremists. But as the Holy Nation becomes more progressive, more open, think about it this way. If the United Cities goes through trade, goes through an industrial revolution, and they enter like what is the Meiji era, right? Also bears noting that destroying the Holy Nation in any Kenshi run without significant intervention from the player ultimately leads to cannibals running rampant. Yeah, I think so. If the United States enters the Meiji Restoration, the Industrial Revolution, and they operate under an emperor that's not a complete fucking idiot, and the Holy Nation goes through a reformation under a 63rd Lord Phoenix, or they end up going through some kind of large-scale reformation under, the Flotsam Ninjas managed to successfully take out this Holy Lord Phoenix, and they managed to dismantle and reform the clergy to be more, to be more, what is the word? More progressive. That's just the word I'm going to use. To be more progressive and more open to reforming the religion based on in removing some of the more hateful and violent aspects. Who's to say that some kind of trade agreement or some kind of religious agreement between the two could not end up occurring? I mean, during the Meiji Restoration, and during that period, the Industrial Revolution of Japan and all of that stuff, if I recall, Christianity spread pretty rapidly throughout Japan. And I can verify that right now, but I'm pretty sure Christianity spread pretty rapidly throughout Japan. Who's to say that a more reformed, more progressive, more open Okrinism couldn't spread throughout the United Cities if they removed the hateful, zealotrous aspects of it? And in that case, yes, there may be splinter factions, but more people will be willing to work with the Holy Nation. And those, aggressive, more hateful aspects of the Holy Nation being removed would end up causing them to have more allies, and they'd be able to eventually stomp out those trying to maintain the old ways, or they would make them the minority. Dude. Yeah, Christianity started spreading through Japan in 1549, which is unironically 1549. Guess when that is? 1549 is right in the middle of the Renaissance, if I recall correctly. It's right towards the beginning of the Renaissance. It all makes sense. It all makes sense. The Renaissance occurred in 1350 to 1600. Yeah, towards the end of the Renaissance. So I genuinely think that if history is anything, the history in Kenshi being a mirror to our own is indicating anything, it's that the Holy Nation is going to end up going through a reformation. The United Cities is going to end up being reformed and restructured under the proper rule of an emperor who's not a complete fucking bozo. And as a byproduct of that, they're going to enter an industrial revolution with the help of the tech hunters, and then the Holy Nation in a more reformed, more peaceful state is going to end up spreading Okrinism to the rest of the United States, over to the United Cities as a potential religion during the course of that technological renaissance. Yeah, I mean that's my opinion on the matter. I could be wrong, but that's my opinion on it. I think that there's a lot of direct parallels, and I think that if anyone can do it, it's gonna be them. It's gonna be them. Gonna be them. Kenshi has the opportunity for 2 Lord Phoenixes. I think in Kenshi 2, we're gonna find out that the first Lord Phoenix is a fucking skeleton. That's what I think. I think in Kenshi 2, we're gonna find out that the first Holy Lord Phoenix was a skeleton. And I am not even kidding. I am unironically not kidding about that. All right, we're gonna follow this man, and I'm gonna save him. OG here, I'm gonna follow him because he's gonna be my boy, and I'm gonna save him. We're going to pick our moment, and we're going to save him. Yeah, no, I truly believe that that's the case. I think that Kenshi's headed for a better future. I know that, like, the idea of Kenshi is that it's kind of all doom and gloom right now, but there's so many historical references that indicate that it's going to be more, that indicate that things are going to get better, that this is not the end game for the people of Kenshi, and that it's not going to stay like this, that things can get better. And I think that's the case. So, but at the end of the day, it's all a matter of opinion. It's all a matter of potential and perspective and opinion and whatnot. But that's my thought. I choose to remain optimistic about it. Is this... We're in the noble's home. Why are we in here? We shouldn't be in here. No, get out. Can't be in there. That's trespassing. Yeah, we don't want to be in there. I'm just waiting for good old the good old boy there to head on out, and then we can free him and recruit him, because I want him in my ranks. Is he like stuck in here? What is his deal? Did he... Yeah, he's stuck in here. Is there anyone in here? Is he Naba home? Is Lordy Naba home? I don't think he's home. Okay. Shit. Quick, save our boy. I appreciate this. You goddamn right I got you, buddy. I got you. You take your moment and you flee. You flee. I'm going to follow him for a minute because I plan on grabbing him once when I get the chance. He's going to probably end up getting knocked out. He's a beast, but he's probably going to end up getting knocked out. Escaped slave. God damn it, they already picked him up. They're going to throw him in jail. Which is good. Right? They're going to throw him in jail. Stobeism. I could definitely see the first Phoenix being a skeleton, considering their entire religion is based off of Stobe. Never thought about it, but it totally tracks. So I have a long-running theory that the first Phoenix... So the religion is based off of Stobe. Stobe was obviously converted into Chytrin, and Chytrin is a representative of skeletons as a whole, and then it was broken into two aspects, Okrin being the good skeleton, Stobe, and then Narco being representative of the Second Empire, or all other skeletons. And so they removed the skeleton aspect of Stobe over a long period of time because it's hard to justify your hate against skeletons when your religious founder and your god figure and your religious founder were both skeletons. So they started removing the skeleton aspects of them. And I think that the idea of reincarnation is actually a historically inaccurate misrepresentation of the reset process that skeletons go through. I think they took the process of resetting, where a skeleton loses their personality, their skills, and their traits, and effectively become an infant. They become a new person, and they, over the course of their generations, twisted that to remove the skeleton aspects of it and turned it into, when the Phoenix dies, he comes back as a new person. That is the idea that I have for that. I've talked about it before in other videos, but the way I've always thought about, he trying to pick his lock? That's so funny, man. He's trying so hard. The way I've always thought about the skeleton resets is that if anyone's familiar with the reference, I've used this reference a couple times as a description, but Doctor Who, specifically the 10th Doctor, David Tennant, towards the end of his run as the Doctor, he has a conversation with a character by the name of Wilfred Mott. And when he's talking to him, Wilfred makes the comment that, if you die, it's not a big deal. You can just regenerate and become, you can just regenerate and be, you'll be good as new. And he says, even if I regenerate, it feels like dying. Everything I am, everything that makes me who I am dies, and some new man goes sauntering away with my name, but I'm dead. And I've always thought that that's how it feels to a skeleton when they reset. Their personality, their emotions, their memories are there, and they have the same name, they have the same memories, but everything that made them who they were, their personality, their emotions, the way that they chose to respond to their experiences, not just the prospect of having them, but the actual way that they chose to respond to them, the skills that they've used and developed over their time, all of that stuff resets and they effectively become a new person. It's like dying. It's like dying over and over again, but you have the memories of the person you used to be, and you just become an infant and you have to rebuild from the ground up. And I think it's the same thing. I think it functions the same way. And when you look at it from that perspective, it's almost like, it's almost like, it's like the Phoenix's reincarnation. I mean, it all functions the same way. I truly think that the first Phoenix was a skeleton. It also would make sense as to how they were liberated, you know? It makes sense as to how they were liberated. A skeleton that was working alongside Catlon, that viewed him as, you know, the hero and the savior and all that stuff that everybody did, suddenly becomes, you know, disenfranchised with Catlon, with the fact that he's throwing people in camps, that he's not feeding people, that his empire's falling apart, he's cracking down on the cult, religiously oppressing them, he's accusing people of being pirates, he's throwing people in prisons and internment camps, child labor camps, and he makes a decision to save them, as many skeletons would have. Many skeletons walked away from the Empire and went into exile. Some of them even turned on Catlon and started helping the humans. Even Catlon says it. He enthralled his own people because of it. It's not hard to think that the original Phoenix was a skeleton who took pity, who sympathized with the cult of Stobe, who was being religiously oppressed, who was being experimented on, and he felt some kind of pity or remorse, and he empathized with them, and he chose to free them and lead them to safety. And if you follow the Holy Nation accounts, that the Holy Nation is upwards of anywhere between 1,000 to 5,000 years old, when you get to that 5,000-year-old marker, well, hold on, Matt, let me get to that. When you get to that 5,000-year marker, 62 Lord Phoenixes is not many Phoenixes. 1,000 years, 62 Phoenixes can make sense. You can do that. That makes sense. You can run that. But if the Holy Nation is 5,000 years old, 62 Phoenixes doesn't make sense, unless, of course, the first Phoenix was their leader for a very, very long time. In addition to that, this one I have no proof for, other than the mentality of this individual and the implications of why this individual has such a fervent hate for for slavery, and also in just a beautifully ironic fashion. I've heard rumblings after I proposed this theory the first time, and I think it might be plausible that the first Phoenix was Tin Fist, and that as he saw the skeleton, the Holy Nation becoming more and more, we'll say, aggressive towards skeletons, he ended up walking away from the Empire. Or when he reset, he chose to walk away from the Empire, from the Holy Nation. But yeah, no, I have reason, to believe that the first skeleton was a Phoenix. And on a far less substantiated claim, I have no proof of this, I think it would be really interesting if the first Phoenix was Tin Fist, a character who we know worked alongside Catlon, who we know became disenfranchised with Catlon when he started enslaving his own people, and a character who has a heavy dislike of slavery that would line up with the very type of person that would have freed the cult of Stobe in the first place. He does not like oppression. He does not like people being oppressed. And it would be really cool if the original Phoenix was Tin Fist. It'd be badass. It would be badass. So, yep. My wife just texted me. Guys, this is so funny. My wife just texted me and asked if that donation is real. She pops into my stream sometimes. That's so funny. She just asked if that was, she just texted me and she said, "Hey, I just popped in your stream. What the fuck? Is that 500 dono still, is that real?" Yes. It was. That's so funny. I think hivers like Beep are the only hivers that could get a good question from a skeleton. From the way they phrase their sentence. Sarcasm doesn't exist for Beep. Literally. That's why Beep is a cinnamon bun, man. That's why Beep is the best. We love Beep for that very reason. Alright, I need to pick this boy up as soon as he drops. As soon as he drops. Ah, God damn it, they keep grabbing him so quick. Starting next week, the heroin in her head channel. Dude, she'd kill me. She'd kill me. She has recently started playing with the idea of maybe starting up a Sims channel, but she, we're not going there. She's big on she's working on it. She's working on it. She plays a lot of Sims. She's also into build content, and she's got a really good eye for decor and all that stuff. So she's recently played with the idea of starting up like a Sims channel. All right, we're gonna have to follow this man. We're gonna have to break him out somewhere else. I am gonna free this man. I refuse to let him live in the shackles of oppression. I refuse. they beating his ass again? They are. They are. They're beating him up again. They're just beating the shit out of him. They keep beating him up, throwing him in jail. Beating him up, throwing him in jail. It's so funny. What if Tin Fist's memory gets reset again? He decides he wants the Holy Nation back, and one of the Splinter factions is led by him. I mean, the memories of the skeletons don't get reset. They just become insane. You know, that's there. You ever get her to play Kenshi? It's kind of like Sims in a way. I have not, and I assure you she never would. I assure you she never would. I realized that we've made like 20,000 cats just sitting here trying to free this guy, this one tech hunter. Follow him again, see what happens. Follow him again. No, they're gonna beat him up again, aren't they? They're gonna go they're gonna beat his ass again. You're mine now. Yes! Got him. All that matters. Run. Flee. Flee, burn. Run as fast as you've gone. Kind of like Star Wars droids needing periodic memory wipes. Yeah, so the, what is it? They don't reset their memories. They reset their emotions. They reset their stats, and they reset their personality, but their memories are all still there. We all know that they keep their memories. EO says as much. In comments from like Dak and Quinn in the from Dak and Quinn in the Black Desert City indicate as much. All of that stuff. All of that stuff. Does your wife play Sims like a benevolent godlike entity trying to make everyone happy, or like a psychopath where she makes a murder dungeon? She doesn't, honestly, she doesn't even play Sims. She builds. She really likes building. She just builds. It's her favorite thing to do. She likes building. She's really fucking good at it, actually. She doesn't even actually play the Sims. She just builds. She just builds. She likes it. Yeah, she does all the building content. All the building content. Come on, buddy. We're going to get you all healed up. You're all beat up now, but you're going to be a great addition to the team. We're excited to have you. And then I'm going to buy you a nice, big, great foreign sword because you deserved it. You've gotten beat up quite a bit, and you need a big old weapon. Did you see this guy earlier? He was jumping around like a fucking loon, man. He was beating the shits out of people with that giant great sword, and so we're going to get him another one because he's earned it. He's a big, strong boy, and he earned it. And then we're going to have him go, once he's no longer an escaped slave, we might have him run one of our shop counters. Or I might have him help defend the base. You know, maybe he'll just work on defending the base. But either way, good guy, good guy. Hero, it sounds like your kids got the genetic makeup to become architects when they grow up. Buy those kids Legos with that 500. Dude, so my kids just started getting into Legos because we wanted to wait until they were a little older. And let me tell you, dude, I am so excited for the Lego period. We also just started getting them into computer games. I wanted to wait until they were a little older. They're about to turn 5, and 5 is like a big year for them. They're doing Legos now. We just started letting them play on the computer with like doing computer games and video games and stuff. And then in addition to that, are you manning the shop counters for RP reasons? Not purely RP reasons. Also having someone physically present there lets me bounce back because when I'm not present at the shops, they don't sell as fast. In addition to all of that, what is it? Their birthday is coming up very, very soon. And for their birthday, my kids, my wonderful children, I have 2 5-year-olds. They're turning 5. The theme for their birthday is Dungeons and Dragons. They asked me to do a D&D theme for their D&D party for their birthday because we play D&D every week. Sometimes I play D&D twice a week because I DM in one and I play in another. And I DM every week. So they wanted a D&D birthday, and they're also going to play their first round of D&D for their 5th birthday. We have a whole thing set up where they're going to be playing their first round of D&D for their 5th birthday, and I'm super excited about it. It's going to be a big deal. It's a big deal, big moment for me as a dad. Big moment for me. We're super excited. We are very excited. Talk to you. Price 20,000. I think we can go lower. 10,000 it is. Boomski. We're gonna go Hodge. What's the name we give him? We got to give him a name. He is Hodge. Okay, so Hodge here. Let's look at his story. Let's look at his story. Hodge was a Hodge was a tech hunter here who committed a crime, got thrown in jail, was sold into slavery, and we freed him, and now he works for us as a byproduct of that. Hi, Miss Hero. Yes, it's real. Sorry if I'm a few minutes behind. I work 10-hour shifts in an aerospace machine shop, and I get crap service. His name is Rust Bucket. He looks like Rust. I mean, we're going to keep the name Hodge. He does have the name Hodge. He's not named like Tech Hunter. He's named Hodge. But I do like the idea of Rust Bucket. So he's Hodge Rust Bucket. What's a good last name for it? Hodge Rust Bucket. He's got to have a last name. Excuse me. Friedman. Friedman. I like it. It's funny. Hodge Rust Bucket Friedman. Because he's a freed man. He's a freed man. A wise choice. It is a wise choice. This is our guy. Hodge is our guy. Let him free. You are free now, Hodge. Now go to the skeleton repair beds. Tech Hunter skeleton. The RP potential here is great. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. And now he's gone the way of the criminal. He's gone the way of the criminal. And you know, he's here. He's living the best life now. We're gonna go get him healed up though, because he's a little fucked up right now. We also got to get him a great sword because again, I don't know if you guys saw some of this earlier, but he was whipping that great sword around like it was nobody's fucking business. Like it was nobody's business. All right. Fantastic. So we're gonna get him healed up. Yeah, this guy was whipping around that great sword like it was nobody's business. In fact, actually, depending, Burn's gonna have to go back to you know, he can't stay here, Burn. Although he does need to heal up. We're gonna get him healed up first. But Burn's gonna have to go back to man his shop counter. Burn's a beast though. Burn is also a beast. He's a martial arts master with a fucking 80 in strength. The man's a monster. Wow, a lot of chat messages. Hold on, I gotta get cut up. I'm dealing with skeleton bandits in my current run. Do you know why these freaks think they're skeleton? Yeah, the skeleton bandits are an interesting one. So they're led by a P4 unit by the name of Eldar. Eldar is a skeleton who has a sickening hatred of humans. So again, skeletons, when they don't reset, they end up, they all have the same you know, results of not resetting. They become emotionally unstable. They become obsessively obsessed with one particular thing in a compulsory way, and they become emotionally erratic. They start to glitch and malfunction, and they become really fixated on one particular thing. So for Catlon, it's paranoia. He was paranoid people were coming for his kingdom. You know, for his empire. For the Armor King, he became obsessed with being a merchant. For Dakin, for Quinn, he became paranoid of humans. He became really paranoid of humans. For Tin Fist, he became obsessed with killing slavers. He was, you know, originally, obviously, he was probably focused more on freeing slaves and ending slavery, but he ended up becoming obsessed with the aspect of killing slavers. They become unhealthily obsessed with it. And Eldar became obsessed with his hatred of humans. He hates humans. He thinks they're the worst thing ever. And so what he did was in a nice, you know, flip for like the skeleton. It's funny. So the skin bandits are the byproduct of a human, a Scorchlander human by the name of Savant, taking advantage of burned out skeletons that were obsessed with humans. That they wanted to protect humans and they wanted to protect humans and then ended up morphing into a I want to be human. He ended up taking advantage of that and telling him he could make them human if they bring him stuff. Okay? And so what they'll do is they'll go out and they'll kill people and they'll bring them back, and he gets all of the stuff, all the riches, because he's a psychopathic tech hunter. And then they flay them and then they wear the skin and all that stuff. On the flip side, you have Eldar. Eldar has convinced humans that Stobe, the last remaining behemoth, did not save humanity, but led the charge to eradicate humans. And he has convinced these people that skeletons are the best race, that they are the dominant race, and that they are the next evolution of humanity, and that the only way to move forward with life is to follow in the great Stobe's journey and discard their mortal flesh, replace their limbs with cybernetics, discard their humanity, and destroy humans, and become a skeleton. Now, this is a grift. He acknowledges that it's a grift if you approach him with a skeleton character. And you can see, he says, Stobe was, trying to wipe out humanity. And you'd be like, that's not true, and you know it. And he says, so what of it? In reality, all he's doing is taking advantage of these people as a way to raise an army to kill humans, because there's not enough skeletons left to wipe out humanity. The skeleton numbers are finite. After the First Empire fell, any skeletons that were around, this is the finite remainder. There's no more. There are no more skeletons. There won't be any more skeletons. And so with those numbers dwindling, he needs to replace them. So he's taking advantage of gullible people and convincing them they can become skeletons, so that way they'll fight his battle. In a direct comparison to Savant, who's a tech hunter, who's taking advantage of broken down skeletons to convince them they can become people, so he can rake in riches. Yeah, they did. They didn't stop resetting by choice. I don't believe. I think they were locked up in the facilities that are now, the skin houses and whatnot. And they I don't think they were. I don't think they were. I think I don't think that they stopped resetting by choice. I think that they were trying to protect humanity, and they burned out, or they were locked up, and then Savant found them, or he was saved by them, because they were trying to protect humans, and he just added to their mental decline by basically convincing them, like, oh, you guys revere humans? Well, I can make you human. The creatures of your affection, the creatures that you guys love so much, I can make you them. But in order for me to do so, I need you guys to go out, and you got to kill people, and you got to bring me their skin. And if you do that, but also don't forget their loot. Bring me their loot, everything they have on them. I'll take their stuff, and in exchange, I'll give you the secrets of humanity. I'll let you become human. And really, all he's doing is looting the bodies and then flaying them and turning them into skin suits for the skin bandits to wear. That's all it is. But it's a grift. Eldar is the exact same type of grifter that Savant is. Savant is a tech hunter that wants to hoard loot for the purposes of wealth. And Eldar is a skeleton is a grifter who wants to continue his charge against humanity. He wants to take the fight to humanity and wipe out humanity, but he knows there's not enough skeletons left to do it. So what's the easiest way to do it? Well, convince the enemy that they should be skeletons and build an army of humans. And then he doesn't have to worry about or feel bad about if skeletons die, that's a skeleton dead. If you think that skeletons are a superior race and humans should be wiped out, and you lead an army of skeletons against them, every skeleton dead is a superior being that's dead on your hands that can't be replaced. But if you convince a bunch of fucking humans that they can be skeleton and they lead the charge against humanity, and then they die, all it is humans killing humans. It's honestly smarter. It's more economic, and it's easier to achieve your goal that way in the long run, because then for every human that your group kills, that's a human that you've wiped out. That's one less human that you have to deal with. And every one of your guys that gets wiped out is one less human that you have to deal with. Burn, come get that great sword. This is the great sword that belonged to that dude, and we're going to take it back. Nice. And we're also going to take back this armor here if I can reach it, but it might be inaccessible due to the cage. He is smart as hell for that. And again, he's not he's a grifter, right? Like the idea that like Savant is actually very smart. He's a grifter. He's an incredibly smart man. Incredibly smart man. He's just a psychopath. And in the same way, Eldar is an incredibly smart man. He's an incredibly smart skeleton, but he's a psychopath, right? Like the two things are separate, you know? They're both very smart. They're just void. They're just very void of emotion. They don't care about the consequences of what they're doing. Savant, it puts the lotion on the skin. Yeah, it puts the lotion on the skin. Exactly. That's what it is. That's what it is. Exactly. What are you guys doing? What are you chasing? Oh, they're chasing down mercenaries. Right, right. People are trying to flee. Feels like oil should be an in-game resource. Fuel is. Excuse me. If I talk too much, my sinuses start draining and it gets uncomfortable. Excuse me. Going on a tirade right now, and so now my throat is sore. Wow, that is a lot of caravan guards, drifters. Oh yeah, okay, everybody's just getting their asses kicked. Hell yeah. All right, we need to bring this man his armor back and his weapons. How are you doing, Longstad? Are you still you're all fed? Yeah, you're all fed. Yeah, we got to bring this man back his equipment. Bring this man back his equipment. You need to keep a tissue box near the computer if that's the case. I mean, that's not going to help me. It's not like it's like my nose is stuffy. It's more like they start draining down the back of my throat. Because I talk too much, you know. Tissues ain't gonna help me. A lot of free bodies to recruit if we need them. Oh yes. Where in the UC are you currently? We are outside of Stoat. We have shops in Henge and in Stoat, and then we're based out of Chateau McChicken, which is in the Spine Canyon. Yeah, it's in the Spine Canyon. But we're about to bring this great sword back to our new recruit because that man right here, this boy right here, is actually a fucking beast. The moves, the maneuvers that I saw this man doing with that greatsword is crazy. This guy was moving. He was absolutely moving. He was killing it. Absolutely killing it. So we're gonna give him his greatsword back. He was jumping in the air. He was doing swirls with it, 360s, fucking whole nine. My guy was an animal with that thing. What are you guys doing? Patrolling? Yeah, I bet they are. Casual 70s, casual 70s. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. It took several UC Samurai to take him down, right? Like it was a losing fight for him, hands down. There was no way he was coming out of that with a win, but my man tried. My man tried. That is my favorite city in the UC as well. I agree. Not only is it a great city for like researching and basing out of, but also it's a city where inter faction conflicts happen a lot. Western Hive, mercenaries, drifters, the UC heroes. Some kind of fight breaks out there all the time. Happens all the time. Hail as old as time. Hail as old as time. Yeah. Good stuff. Good shit. Good shit. Here, we'll let you guys come in here. Maybe you guys gonna come inside? No, I don't want to open to the public, but also like the idea of having the Western Hive come in. Actually, we don't have shop counters here. We don't need to be in the public. Never mind, you don't come in. No, nothing for you. No, nothing for you. We're gonna give this stuff to our man over there. Now that dude's a corpse. Where is our new guy? Where is he at? Snaps, Rust Bucket, where you at? Oh, there he is. Good old Hodge. Hodge, Rust Bucket, Friedman. Trade with you. I delivered you back your greatsword. This was the sword that he was fighting with. He was an absolute unit. My guy was killing it. Killing it. And we're going to give him these. They are shoddy, but I'm going to take the Stout Hessian pants because we can potentially. How do these look? How do these look? That's the question. Yeah. Dude looks like a beast. Dude looks like a beast. Strength is suffering a tiny bit, but yeah, it'll be fine. Fine. It's pretty sure it's because we're indoors, right? Yeah, indoors penalty. His strength, his defense and stuff. How does he look when he's outside? Good. Are you not armor or weapon crafting in this playthrough? I am not. I don't believe the Mafia would be making their own equipment. I think they'd be a conglomeration of various types of armor. There is stuff that like the main Nuggets wear, like Don Tony McChicken's a very specific type of drip. Okay. Oh yeah, I forgot he was all the way over here. Literally completely forgot that Don's been in the Grey Desert this whole time. So Don Tony McChicken's got a specific type of drip. He's got the drippiest of drip in my opinion, but you know. Oh, guys, since we got 140 people here, I did want to take a minute to talk about one of the recent projects that I did. For anybody who was here during the Dwarf playthrough, I had made mention that I was going to make a cinematic finale for the Dwarf playthrough, and I released that yesterday. Anybody who has not seen it, I released a 10-minute long cinematic finale made fully in-game machinima style for the Dwarf stream. And I dropped that yesterday. Turned out really, really good. I'm really proud of it. Really happy with the camera work on it. Really happy with all of it. It was a bitch to edit, but we did it. It looks beautiful. I would recommend if everybody wants to go give that a look-see. Mapio, how are you, my friend? This man right here just popped into the chat. Good old Mapio over here. Found this boy on Twitch. He's been doing Kenshi streams recently, and I popped in and said hello. If you guys want a decent streamer to watch, really good commentary, solid guy, go check him out. Man's got good commentary on Twitch. Go check him out for sure. I believe it's the same name on Twitch as well. Yeah, go check this man out. Solid commentary. He has recently started playing Kenshi, and he's been moving through it. He's been moving through it. Welcome to the stream, good buddy. Welcome to the stream. Mappy, what's your opinion on Hive soldiers? It's a trick question, Map. It's a trick question. It is a trick question. Logic has a deep seething racism towards Hive soldiers. I don't know why he has such a hatred for them, such a seething racism. You know, guys, you want to hear something really funny? This is super funny. I talked about that cinematic cut. We had 140 people in the stream, and then the stream immediately dipped down to 98, and I'm almost positive it's because 40 people just left to go watch that thing. Oh, man. So the only reason there wasn't a narration for it was because I was using it as an ending for the 25 episode live stream series, and also as a visual setup to show people how the the anthology series will look, not how it will feel, because the anthology, when I release that, is obviously fully voice acted. We have all of the voice actors except for one. We only have one voice actor left that we need for it. But yeah, that's part of it. I wanted to show you guys like what can be done in Kenshi's engine cinematically with the camera and stuff like that. But yeah. You got 300 for finally building a skeleton bed. That's true. We did hit 300 viewers last stream for building a skeleton bed. I don't know if it was necessarily for building the skeleton bed, but we did. Those two things happened in one stream. Are they related? Maybe. Maybe not. Maybe not. 300 viewers did happen, and we did build a skeleton bed. They could be related. They could not be related. We don't know. It's possible. I'll have to meet a Hive soldier to develop an opinion. Listen, Hive soldiers, I like the Hive soldiers. They're honestly my favorite Hiver. Except from Beep. Like, Beep is different. But, like, in terms of Hiver variants, like, the Hive soldiers are my favorite of the three. Yeah. The Hive soldiers are my favorite of the three. I think they look cool. They have the most customization out of any of them. Because you can, like, rotate the eyes up or down, give them different shapes. You can make Hive soldiers look truly unique. Yeah. Logic just hates them because, they don't wear helmets in the base game, and he finds that upsetting and appalling. He finds that very upsetting. Discount Shek. I mean, they're meant to be easily replicable Shek, though. I like the hammerhead look. I like the hammerhead look, Logic. I don't know, man. I don't know. You need to put down this hatred. You need to put down this aggressive hatred that you have. Okay, you need to go the way of Buddha. Okay, there is no hate. There is only peace. There is no Warren Bossing say, and the Hivers are not, the Hive soldiers are not the worst thing ever made. You need to release your hatred. All right. At least until we get to. No, he's got a point. Oh God, it's spreading. Look what you're doing, Logic. It's spreading. Oh God, he's spreading the hate. This is how it happens. It's like a disease. Gotta go drop more food cubes off. You know what we need to do, actually? You know what? Shit, I have a good idea. I have an idea. We're gonna go back to the Gray Desert. I'm gonna buy that tower, I think, and I'm gonna make another base in that tower. Another shop in that tower. We're gonna go back to the Gray Desert. Going back. I'm gonna make another shop in that tower. The hammerheads don't even give an engineering benefit. Like, why bother? I mean, they're not hammering things with their head, Logic. It's an ergonomic shape. Also, you have to remember that if you follow my train of thought that the Hivers were based off skeletons because they were made by skeletons to be based off skeletons. They're just organic skeletons. It lines up because the soldier bots for the skeletons have long rectangular heads. It's just straight forward and backwards. The soldier variant of Hivers have sideways long rectangular heads. You know, it all makes sense. It makes sense. If they were made by skeletons in the image of skeletons, it makes sense. It just works. It just works. Okay, like Todd Howard said, it just works. Todd Howard knows a thing about things that work, a thing or two about stuff that works, or at least he did at one point in time. A water type hive would be cool. I personally think that it would be really cool to see either like a black variant of hiver, like a gray or a black, like a dark hive, or like a green hive, like a green hiver would be really cool. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. What makes you think hivers are based off of skeletons? Well, there's a couple reasons I think the hivers are based off of skeletons. The first one being that the hivers appeared right at the tail end of the Second Empire. And they appeared at a time when they were perfectly designed for all of the exact issues that the Second Empire was facing. They were designed to be easily replicable at a time when the Second Empire was dealing with mass exodus and secession. They were designed to be, they were also dealing with population issues in general. They were designed to be easily controlled at a time when rebellions and secessions and exoduses were happening. They were designed to be able to eat rotten and disgusting food and have lower rates of hunger at a time during a famine when most of the farmlands in Kenshi were either tainted by heavy metals or destroyed in the grid via an explosion. They were also designed to be resistant to the natural landscape of Kenshi in terms of like radiation and acid rain. All of those things. And they didn't appear until the tail end of the Second Empire, right at the time that Catlan was dealing with every single one of those issues. In addition to that, physically, they look very similar to skeletons, but in an organic setting. Look at the basic model of skeleton, the most common model of skeleton that we see. Well, the most common model of hybrid that we see are the drones, the worker drones. They both have that straight up and down head, right? That square head. They also, all hybrids and skeletons have that really like larger torso, that like V-shaped torso, straight down spine, really thin like spinal piece, and all of that stuff. But they do have a very large similarity in terms of their physicality to the skeletons. Now, they showed up at the right end, at the tail end. They were not in the lore anytime before that. They were perfectly fit to be part of, to fix all of the issues that the skeletons were facing at the end of the Second Empire. They look like skeletons, and they have different models that are designed for different things, just like skeletons. The most common form of skeleton that we see, the drones look just like them. The soldier bots that were designed as warriors, they have that square, that rectangular head forward and backwards. The soldier variant to hybrids, rectangular head sideways. The managerial style variant of skeletons, which would be the P4 units. Think Catlon, think Eldar, think Dak and Quinn. Not Dak and Quinn, but I think one of them. I don't remember which one though. They have rounded heads, just like the princes, who are managerial classes of skeletons. And then the leader, the queens. In the concept art for Kenshi, we see a variant of skeleton that looks exactly like the queens. They have that like lion-esque, those prongs that are sticking out of their head. And presumably that's what Catlon should have been. The emperor, the king, the leader skeletons. Well, who else looks like that? The hive queens. They have the prongs out of their head. They look just like that. The skeletons were made, and they were also created at a time when Catlon had become increasingly disenfranchised with humanity. He had believed that humans were monsters and that skeletons were superior because humanity was inherently self-destructive in his eyes. So what's the easiest way to fix that problem? To make humans more like skeletons. And he did so with methodology that he'd used in the past when he created the enforcers that would end up becoming the Shek. He modified humans using, genetic modification, likely being done by the Bugmaster, as I've talked about in previous videos. It all just lines up. It all makes sense. It all lines up and it all makes sense. The Hybers were created by skeletons in the image of skeletons to deal with the issues at the end of the First Empire, and they did so, and they wanted to make humans more like skeletons because they felt humans were inherently self-destructive, that they were not a lesser race, but a race that was not as good as skeletons, and they did so by making them more like skeletons. They also are controlled via a pheromone link that very likely models the mainframe or the network that the skeletons would have been connected to during the First Empire. And in a similar way, they also have the same response when removed from that hive mind. When hivers leave the pheromone network, they often become incredibly depressed, and many of them end up taking their own lives because they can't cope with the presence of sanity. They can't cope with the sudden burst of sentience and self-identity. And what happened at the end of the First Empire after the Grand Extinction attempt, when human skeletons were disconnected from the mainframe, when they were no longer part of a unified group, and they had just committed a mass atrocity? They all couldn't cope with sentience. They all couldn't cope with what they had done, and many of them took their own lives. Everything about the skeletons is mirrored in the Hybers. There's no way. There's no way that that's a coincidence. There's no way. Everything we know about the skeletons and everything that we know about the Hybers all lines up so perfectly that the Hybers were made by skeletons. They were made by altering humans to be more like skeletons. Hybers are just organic skeletons. That's all it is. And it also fits the theme that the First Empire and the Second Empire were inverses in many ways. Are Hybers considered biologically enslaved due to the pheromone link? And if yes, would would Tin Fist try to fist the Hyber Queen? He might. He might. He might. Probably not, though. The Hybers in the hive mind, I think, like, even though they obviously don't have like the level of sentience required to like actively be like, I don't like this. Everything we know about the Hybers, most Hybers like being part of the hive mind, the collective. It feels calming. It feels safe. Individuality scares them. They struggle with it. Many Hybers that become sentient and break away from the pheromone link do so accidentally, and they become depressed and upset. Because they struggle to find identity. It's a safety net. Many of them like being part of the collective. They like being part of the hive mind. So I don't think so. They're not being taken advantage of. I mean, they're kind of being controlled, but, a lot of them like it. So what are you going to do? Amongst the Borgs, we lived with the voices of others in our minds. Thousands of voices with us always. Literally. Literally. It's a collective. Who needs individuality when you're part of a collective, when you're part of a community? Why when you're used to sharing a consciousness and a mind with a bunch of other people and you don't have the need for individual thought and identity, it's got to be the equivalent of, living in isolation by yourself in a padded cell or having one or two people to hang out with and talk to. And then imagine if you had spent your entire life in a collective, in a community with tons of people around you, and then all of a sudden you were tossed out in the woods and you had no one, and you were told you have to spend the next 50 years in the woods by yourself. It would be devastating to you. It would destroy your psyche, and a lot of people wouldn't be able to cope. And the same thing happens with the hivers. The same thing happens with the hivers. It's got to be devastating to them. Oh, this is going to be fucking annoying. We're doing this the long way, everybody. It'll be worth it in the end. I'm going to have Ruka join us, actually. Ruka, you're going to grab some building materials and you're going to haul ass over here. We have building materials? We do. Grab some building materials and get your buns over here. Get your buns over here, child. Hell yeah. What causes the detachment from the hive mind? Is it a proximity thing, an age thing, or does the queen just pick one specific hiver out of spite? It could be a couple of things. Proximity is hard to guess. I don't think it's proximity. I think hiver princes have a higher degree, like a higher potential to break away because they inherently seem to have more conscious thought because they, are meant to be the managerial class. So they inherently have a higher propensity for developing sentience. I also think that the hiver princes in many ways act as transponders to extend the range of the queen's pheromones, which is why you see the distant hive village, which is actually up here for the western hive, is able to still be connected to the western hive despite the western hive being all the way on the other end of the map, right? And it's because the hive princes over there act as transponders to extend the range of the pheromones. I think what ends up happening is hive princes have a higher chance of developing sentience, which is why we see more of them. Hive soldier drones have the lowest chance of developing sentience because they are almost always within close proximity to a prince or the queen. They almost never wander off. Drones have a high chance of developing sentience because they are expendable, so they wander off more. That's why you see less soldier drones, more princes, and more drones. Drones are prone to wandering off, like worker drones are prone to wandering off. Soldiers tend not to wander off. They're always in close proximity to the princes that extend the pheromone range, or the queens, or in the villages where they would be, receiving those pheromones. And the princes are just have a higher propensity for developing sentience because of their increased intelligence. So I think that it's the detachment from the hive mind comes from if they start to develop individual consciousness, or like sentience or ideas, they will end up eventually breaking away and not being able to be connected anymore. Or if they wander too far away from a prince, in the case of the workers or the soldiers, they will end up developing sentience. And once sentience is developed, they're incapable of reintegrating back into a hive mind. So they live in some kind of fugue state. Some kind of fugue state. So that's my thought on those. That's my thought on those. Yeah. Oh yeah. How much autonomy do the hivers have in the collective? Western hive traders seem pretty independent. None. The hive princes might have a little bit of autonomy, but the autonomy is based on the directives of what the queen needs. So, in all transparency, they have very little actual autonomy. They are all working for the betterment of the collective. Also, hive traders may disprove proximity is the cause. That's pretty far for the hive Shem, the Great Desert. Well, if you take into account what I just said, the hive traders are always a prince, and the princes act as transponders for the pheromones, which is why you're able to have hive villages on the other side of the map that are still connected to Western Hive. So the hive traders make sense because they always have a prince that's doing the selling. The prince is acting as a transponder, and that's what's keeping all the other hivers in line that are around him, like the soldiers. So I think princes aren't a proximity issue. I think princes break away when they develop sentience. I think the soldiers and the workers break away when they are outside of proximity to either a prince or the queen. How would the Hive Princes act as transponders, though? Maybe they're capable of producing the same pheromones as a byproduct of how they're made. Maybe they're able to produce the pheromones to a lesser degree that keep them within the collective. Like the queen produces the master pheromones, and the princes can produce smaller amounts of the pheromones, but only if they are actively under the influence of the queen's pheromones. And so they're able to output it and extend that reach. But the problem is if the Hive Prince, maybe if he's away for long enough, they develop sentience and that transponder stops happening. But I imagine that something in their body can maintain the life of the pheromone, or they can produce their own as long as they themselves are under the influence of the queen's pheromone. You know. Interesting stuff, everybody. Interesting stuff. Are the fishmen a type of hive or related tech? The fishmen have two potential options. Either they're the byproduct of experimentation that was done as well, which is possible, or they are the byproduct of, or they're native to Kenshi. Both are possible. It's hard to say which one is the concrete truth, though. It's hard to say which one is the concrete truth. I think both theories have validity. It's hard to say. Hey, those 40 viewers finished watching the cinematic. Welcome back, guys. Welcome back, everybody. I hope you guys enjoyed. I put a lot of work into it. I'm very proud of it. It's the first of its kind that I've done, and I'm really excited about it. So I hope that anybody who took the opportunity to go watch it enjoys it. It's it does lack a little bit of context, but that's because it's meant to be the cinematic end to a 25-part live stream. So, in my next live stream series that I do, which is going to be the Project Cthulhu live series, I'm actually also going to be recording them simultaneously and breaking them down into more digestible long-form content. So, a 4-hour stream will become a 25-minute video. And the goal here is to... I'll break them down into digestible content, and then I plan to upload those as long-form content, and I'll do a similar cinematic end for that series as well, but this one will be a little bit easier to get the full context of, and I plan on mixing it with, over the course of them doing some cinematic events and stuff as well, maybe like a half Kenshi roleplay. But I've really been working on my camera angles and like getting like that like cinematic style down with the camera shake and the motion blur. And I've been studying other filmmakers and stuff for the purposes of production and storytelling and cinematic storytelling, like when to do certain shots and stuff like that. I've been watching a lot of documentaries on like how various, large scale films were made and stuff like that to try and replicate those styles in Kenshi's engine. And I put some of them to work in the thing, but like in the cinematic that I put out, but I plan on doing even more as well. I want to get good at it. One of the things I've always wanted to do is directing and animation and stuff, and this is giving me an opportunity to really dive into that and make it a reality. So I'm proud of it. I hope it happens. I hope it works. I hope it continues to work. It seems to be going well, and my hope is that it continues to do so. Let's buy and trade. All right, we are going to put. We're going in. We're going in. Ruka, we're spending some money. We're gonna spruce this place up, spruce it up nicely, and we're gonna sell some stuff. We're gonna sell some shit, man. Storage. We need a shop counter. Yes, big old shop counter. I wish that I knew what size was the main size, but that's fine. I don't like giving unsolicited advice. Would you like an opinion on the video? Absolutely. Absolutely. Critiques are welcome. There are some things that could have been done better for sure, and I acknowledge that, and I'm more than happy to hear anyone's criticisms on. I think criticism is important. That's how you move forward. That's how you grow, and not accepting criticism, as long as it is constructive, is the epitome of laziness and refusal to change, which is not something that I like to do. So, if you have something to add, please, by all means. I will say one thing with the video, though, was that I did have limited time to prepare with limited resources, as well as there was some things that I couldn't do because of the way that the live stream had gone and when my save points were and all that stuff. So, you know, I had some limited stuff to work with. Plus, there was no voice acting in it, so that also made it so I had to tell the entire story via just imagery with no voices, and that makes things a little bit more complicated as well. When I do my anthology series, that'll be fully voice acted, so that's different. But could I also add a criticism? There wasn't enough cowbell. It would have been better with more cowbell, dude. Let me tell you, I searched for hours for cowbell, for a proper cowbell, and I just couldn't find a cowbell. I tried so hard to find a cowbell, and I couldn't do it. And eventually I had to accept my fate as an individual, as a man that doesn't have a cowbell. So I'm sorry, Logic. I let you down. I know. That'll do. And we're actually going to move you out just a little bit because it needs to be 3 over. Go drive up north and find a cowbell. The motion shake was overdone. The camera angles were great, but the amount of shaking lessened the impact for when it would be most appropriate. So I wanted to do minor shaking for the non-combat scenes for the purposes of making the camera feel less like an in-game camera. I could have reduced it a bit, you're right. I wanted it to feel less like an in-game camera and more like someone was holding a camera or like an action camera during the build-up. Also, again, when the camera's super straight and smooth, it comes off as feeling like, at least in my opinion, it comes off as feeling very like artificial, and I wanted it to not have that vibe. During the combat scenes, the camera shake wasn't added. That was done. What I would do is I was manually tracking things with my mouse, where I was manually tracking things with my mouse, where I would track like the weapon of the enemy that I was targeting, but I also wanted and I would like follow that, and that's why the movement was a little erratic sometimes. My main purpose on that was that I wanted to really show the intensity and the speed of the combat, right? And there were some scenes where it was a little bit much, but it's also because there's a bit of inconsistency with how much I could like make everything the same in terms of camera movement during the combat scenes. But no, I do think that sometimes the shaking was a little bit much. A little bit much. But I did, especially towards the end, during the end sequence with like, King Vashu walking through the throne room and the overhead shots of Garzumi Keep, I thought that little bit of sway was nice. It was good. And I liked it when the armies were walking too, because there was 1 or 2 scenes that I had filmed where the camera wasn't moving at all, or it was moving in a very slow, straight line, and it looked very artificial. And I thought that sway kind of broke it up a little bit and added to the ambiance of like there's an army marching, and it's intense. But it definitely could have been reduced a little bit. I agree. I understand your point, and I agree. Who's at our base right now? Anyone? No, Traders Guild's going to be on the way there, though. Public. Fun fact, did you know the original type of cowbell we think with white and black cow spots is actually called a Holstein cow, and those cows originally come from the Netherlands or Germany, but flourished in Canada. I did not know that. I did know that there used to be a form of cow, like there was the most prevalent form of cow for a long time was like the ones with the long hair, right? The long-haired cow. Hey, Artie, how are you? Who's the guy that donated 500? What a legend! That would be the illustrious Matt Jacobs over there. My dude donated $500 for me to make him a base for his playthrough. So I'm going to be building a skeleton-only base utilizing the what is it? The skeleton drop pod from the Ashland Dome there from from the Ashlands, and metal buildings. I'm going to be making a skeleton-only base. I'm going to be making it in Venge for a skeleton army. The Empire returns and whatnot. Yeah, dude's an absolute legend. Absolute legend. Absolute legend over here. How are we doing on likes right now? 34? Yeah. Remember to like the stream, everybody. Remember to like the stream. Helps push things along, keeps the algorithm a-flowing. Keeps the algorithm a-flowing. The shake during the painting shots were all well executed. It's mostly the combat scenes. If everything is intense, then nothing is. My recommendation is finding a way to build up tension. So one of the things that I wanted to add in, but I had a hard time with it because there was so many, is I wanted to add impact shakes. But I think the impact shakes are better for one-on-one combat. I did a couple of test runs in one-on-one scenes where I had two characters going at it, and every time their blades would connect or they would hit, I would add like a very slight like bip where you could feel the impact. And I think that went really well. I struggled with it during the actual combat scenes because there was so much happening, and I wanted to, you know, part of it was that I had added the, I had manually added the camera shaking prior to me realizing that I could, in post, add in artificial camera shaking. And as a byproduct of that, I was trying to create the camera shaking in the combat scenes. In future combat scenes, I'll be doing a much more standard panorama where like I just like pan through at maybe a higher speed with some slight movement, and I'll add in the camera motion in post so it's less jittery and more smooth camera shaking. That was a byproduct of me not at the time realizing that I could add in the camera shake in post, because I was using a different editing software, and then I ended up switching to DaVinci Resolve, and I realized that I could do it. So, dude, love the channel. No politics, just awesome gaming on Kenshi and great one-click download that works even with my 2080 Ti. Dude, also remember to use the load order that I posted on there. Very important. Remember to use the load order that I posted on there for maximum optimization. Very, very important. Thank you, Octopus, there for the gifted membership. Thank you very much. Many thanks, comrade. Many thanks. Did you know Fidel Castro was obsessed with dairy? He imported cows from Canada and named the cows the Ubre Blanca, and there would be an excerpt from the Cuban newspaper about this cow every day. I did not know that. I did not know that. Did not know that. Also, my reshade is available in the description as well to make your game look like mine. If you guys want a good example, this is actually a really good spot for it too because it looks so pretty. If you guys want a good example of what the reshade looks like, I'll show you. This is my Kenshi with the reshade on. Come on, no, just the Don. Come here. All right, this is my Kenshi with the reshade on. Look at the characters, look at the backdrop, look at the lighting, right? This is Kenshi without my reshade. Look at that difference. Look at the little extra shadows, okay, the MXAO that forms on them. It's beautiful. Beautiful. The difference to me is staggering. Even on the underside of the Don's chin, you can see those extra effects at work. And the best part, the reshade doesn't affect performance pretty much at all. You might lose a single frame at most. So, do check it out, guys. Do check it out. I made it as a replacement to Suki V2 after the author got overzealous and decided to steal ray tracing assets and get himself removed from the Nexus, like an absolute genius. Like an absolute genius. Okay, so hopefully we make a little bit of cashola in here, in this shop here. But we shall see. These guys are in here fighting still. You know, we're gonna help them deal with this. Get in here, everybody. Don, sheathe your backpack. You sheathe your backpack. Get it done. Go kick his ass. Kick his ass. Don Tony McChicken's not afraid of a fight. Bop. You see that? One jab. Did you see that shit? One jab. One jab. And you already identified what I was about to recommend. Again, really impressive video. Thank you. I appreciate it. That was also my first real like test run for Yay into like publicly releasing like any kind of cinematic. It is only uphill from here. I'm gonna get better at effects, better at editing, and I think you guys are gonna see like the true culmination of Kenshi's cinematic potential for machinima and stuff like that when we get to my anthology series that is fully voice acted. I have sets being that I'm making in game. I have custom mod starts being made for the purposes of the animation. We have 5 of the 6 voice actors that we need for the first episode to release to begin production. I'm beyond hyped. So I think that we're going to see the full culmination of Kenshi's cinematic potential when we get to that first episode of the anthology series. So I'm debating on a name. I'm kind of thinking Beyond the Sands, a Kenshi anthology. And then episode 1 is going to be called Awakening for reasons that no one needs to worry about right now. You'll learn more about it as we get there. All right, so they're going there. We're gonna go see how Burns doing back in Stout. Is he still? Oh no, he's not in Stout anymore. Oh shit. Okay, we gotta get Burn back to Stout, man. He's not manning his shop counter, and that is unacceptable behavior. He has a job to do. He's got to get back to that shop counter. I am gonna go to Long Stout then, and see how he's doing. How's he doing? All right, the reshade link has a tiny problem, not a big one. Big one though for a luddy like me that hates new links to GitHub. Just albeit the tutorials. It's not you. It's people understanding GitHub. Yes. Are you talking about the reshade? Like for reshade? Because the only thing that should have the only thing that has a GitHub thing is reshade. SSAO is a downloadable mod. I'm pretty sure. It's been a while, so maybe I'm stupid. But reshade should be reshade is a separate website. You download it and then you just install it. It's an installer from the reshade website. SSAO is a mod that you can download, and then mine it doesn't have a link to GitHub. You just download my INI and my reshade folders and install them. Unless I'm forgetting how SSAO is installed. Again, it's been a while. How does the shop front function in Kenshi? Is it a food-only thing that sells reliably? Okay. So, food only? No. It primarily sells food and medical counters. In vanilla, they don't really work. So, yeah, as Octopus was saying, in vanilla, shop count, everyone has a list of what they want, and then they also have an allowance of funds. And the way it's supposed to work is that every day those funds refresh. And as a byproduct of that, every day they can go buy stuff so you can sell stuff every day in your shop. The problem is that Kenshi, for reasons being that it is Kenshi, those funds don't reset. They don't. It's a bug. It doesn't reset. It's a problem. And as a byproduct of that, shop counters only function early on, and then after that, the only people that are going to buy anything from your shops are nobles, and nobody buys anything other than medical supplies and food. Food and then medical supplies in so there's that. I have a mod on that fixes that by updating everyone's list of wants and also making their funds actively refresh at the beginning of each day, so they actively can buy stuff. They can actually buy stuff. Oh hell yes, dead pack beasts from the Western Hive. You know what that means, everybody? This is great news. This is great news. Because yes, I'm going to go shove all of this shit into my shop counters, and I'm also going to sell all of those books. And these guys are dead, so I don't have to worry about anything. This is great news. Jackpot, free loot. Come buy all the things. Come buy all of the things. Hell yeah. These books I'm going to bring right to a trader. I'm going to sell those. Yeah, you know what? Actually, that's a smarter thing. I'm gonna grab this pack beat. I'm going to kidnap his ass. And I'm going to carry him right into this building here. Oh no, I crashed! Motherfucker, the worst time to crash! Oh no! No! Why does my life hate me? The worst. Literally the worst. Actively the worst. It's okay. It's all right. We'll reload. We'll reload. Oh my god, that's literally the worst. I hope those beasts are still there. I hope they're still there. Chris Hunt giveth and Chris Hunt taketh away. Will the stolen goods still sell? Yeah, I mean, if they're buying hashish out of my shop counters in a town where it's illegal to sell hashish, so if they'll do that, I'm sure that it'll sell. I'm sure we won't have an issue. I'm sure it'll be fine. It'll be fine. I'm so mad. Ugh, I'm so mad. When was the last autosave? Gray Desert. You son of a bitch. Okay. All right. It's fine. It's fine. It's Kenshi. It's Kenshi. That's just Kenshi, everybody. That's just Kenshi. As Bazinga Banga Bingo once said, Chris Hunt giveth. Right, Christ Hunt giveth. Christ Hunt taketh away. Literally. Let's see if the autosave loads correctly. I'm so fucking mad. God damn, that's so maddening. The Western Hive was dead. We were looting their stuff, and it was awesome. I'm so mad. My body hurts. My brain hurts. My heart hurts. I'm a sad boy now. I'm a sad boy. Sad boy. Oh, man. Yeah, one thing with the animations as well that I think I'm going to do is in future animations, while I am going to have large scale combat, I also think that I'm going to partially focus on, I'm going to try to focus more on like smaller scale combat. So like a handful of people instead of, massive armies. There will be times where there'll be large groups, but even then the groups will be like 5 or 10 people versus 5 or 10 people, or it's going to be like 3 or 4 people versus like 15, right? Like I want to have, God damn it, I've been shot. All right, hold on. My fucking turrets shot me. Have you tried praying to your computer, rubbing some oil on it? Maybe that's what it is. Maybe I'm not rubbing enough oil on my computer. What it is, reciting the rites of stability. What it is. You caught me. You caught me. What's this skeleton repair bed doing? Is it working? Is it working? Yeah, it's working. Oh god, I can't believe that just happened. That's so fucking obnoxious. Got to appease the machine spirit. That's what it is. That's what it is. We weren't doing our daily prayers to Christ Hunt. We weren't doing our daily prayers to Christ Hunt. I am determined, by the way, to make the Christ Hunt thing, like the Christ Hunt meme, a thing. It's gonna happen. I am beyond determined to make it a thing. What we will do is we're gonna hang out here and see if it happens again. See if the Western Hive decides to piss somebody off. Maddening is what that is. Can't believe that happened. I was in the clear, guys. I was about to make so much money. Christ Hunt is the Omnissiah. Praise be him and his 12 digital disciples. That's what it is. That's what it is. I'm tempted as hell. I'm tempted to quell the Hive Soldier propaganda with my mod powers, but I'm resisting the urge. Don't do it. Don't do it. It ain't worth it. All right, well, now we need to see if the Western Hive is going to end up picking a fight again. I hope they do, because I would really like to raid their caravan again and, get back what was mine. Banga banga bongo. All I need is the Western Hive to show up and try to heal somebody who's downed or some shit like that. Try to do something nice. Pato, you absolute lad. You missed it, my friend, because you were sleeping like some guy who thinks that he gets to sleep in a time zone that warrants it. Your boy got a $500 dono to build a base tonight. Someone asked me to build a base for their upcoming playthrough. Absolutely wild stuff, man. Wild stuff. Yeah. My brain about exploded. Absolutely goated stuff. Goated stuff. We're all saying our prayers to Christ Hunt right now. That's what we're doing. Christ Hunt sent his only son to teach us an important lesson, known but not practiced. For I tell you, only by walking the path of beep will man know humanity. That's right. That's right. That's what it is. That's what it is. Praise be him. Praise be him. I hope he sees this. You know what the best part is I know that like Josh and Dan and a few of the others watch my videos and potentially my live stream, and I hope they see this, and I hope that they tell him about this, about about the Christ Hunt thing, because I know that they're here. I know that they watch it. They're not always here, but I know that they watch my videos at the very least. I've talked to them about it, and I really hope that they see it, and I hope that they tell him. It's so funny. We're gonna start it this here. Let it be known that Hero and His Head's channel is the foundational place, the starting location of Christ Huntinism. Christ Huntinism. Okay, the foundational piece of Kenshiism. We are the location. Okay, this is the mecca of Kenshiism. What is the origin of this Christ Hunt thing? Oh, the guy who made Kenshi's name is Chris Hunt. And we always make jokes that like Chris is like an omnipotent super being, and so I started calling him Christ Hunt on stream one day, and it just kind of stuck. It's a play on the meme about Todd Howard being called God, like being called God Howard. So the long-standing meme with Bethesda is that Todd Howard is God Howard, and we flipped it and turned it into Chris Hunt is Christ Hunt. Prayer day, get your holy little fire flame here. Exactly, nailed it, nailed it. When you get the podcast with them, I'll mail you a. Hold on. When you get a podcast with them, I will mail you a shirt with an AI Christ Hunt I created. It'll be the most awkward shit in the world. I'm here for it, dude. I'll do it, and I won't even feel bad about it. It's gonna have 16 times the beeps. 16 times the beeps. It just works. It just works. It just kills you. It just kills you. Okay, when the beeps are beeping, it has 16 times the beeps. The next game, 16 times the beeps. All right, now we need to wait and see if the Western Hive is gonna get their shit rocked again, and if they do, I'm gonna jump on that bitch. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm so mad that crash happened. It made my insides hurt. Hey, Dragon, welcome back. Come on, Western Hive. Pick a fight that you can't win. Do it. Wonder how many details there will be in Kenshi 2. 16 times. 16 times. And 16 times the random crashes. But it will also simultaneously be 16 times more stable. It's going to be the weirdest shit. The weirdest shit. It's going to be great. It's going to be absolutely dope. The dopest of things. By the way, guys, if you haven't already checked out the podcast, do check out the first episode of the podcast on my channel, Tengu's Vault, a Kenshi-centric podcast run by YouTuber Petastrofia and myself. First episode is on my channel in the live streams. You can go ahead and check out the VOD there. All subsequent episodes will be on the Tengu's Vault podcast channel. The next episode should be this upcoming week. We're going to be talking about the First Empire. So, yeah, go ahead and check it out. Join us when we live stream. Check out the VOD. We're also available on Spotify. Tengu's Vault, a Kenshi podcast on Spotify. So do go ahead and check us out. Like I said, first episode is on my channel, and then all subsequent episodes will be on the Tengu's Vault channel. Why am I untrusted? Because you say trust me after giving unhelpful suggestions. That is fair, Dragon. You have given unhelpful suggestions before, and you have said trust me afterwards. Do we remember Project Zomboid? I hit Q because of you. I hit Q because of you, if I recall. And we all remember what happens when you hit Q on Project Zomboid, right? You get cured. You get cured. That's what I was told. I was promised a cure, and I was not cured. I was not cured. What happened was the opposite of curing. Yeah. Yeah. See? Now they all know about your shenanigans, Dragon. They all know about your shenanigans. Trust me is sarcasm. Is it? Is it? Because I trusted you and we all saw what happened. I need to find the Western Hive pack beast here, because they are getting their shit rocked, as they should, that I can kidnap that has all this stuff. There's the one. There it is. There it is. We're going to kidnap you, and we're going to run into this here shop right here. Run on in. Get in here. No, you motherfucker. You're supposed to pick up the goddamn... Oh, my God. You have one job, you foolish hiver. Alarm raised? For what? The Western Hive are villains. They're villains. Who's attacking me? Nomads? Long Stout might get his shit rocked. Okay, it's okay. Get in there. Close that door. No longer public. Lock that up. Fantastic. Long Stout, you get over here. Burn. Put him down. Put him down. Put this nomad down. I am going to commit great crime and beat this nomad to death. Get bopped, son. You don't even stand a chance. You don't even stand a chance. Burn, do you have medical supplies? You do now. We're going to heal up you. Yeah. Yeah. Playing Zomboid with my wife. There's a plastic cowboy hat with a whistle. My new favorite pastime is running past her, blasting the whistle. That is... You're a bad man. You're a bad, bad man. You're a bad, bad man. And we're just going to dump all of this shit in there. Dump all this shit. Now, they still, with the mod, they still do prioritize food over other things. But they will purchase other things now. So, I'm going to, not the books. The books I'm going to have to sell myself. But, yeah. These over here. Beautiful. These in there. These in there. Medical supplies, they'll buy those too. Oh yeah, we're selling. Listen, this is even more befitting of a mob because now we're selling stolen goods. We're selling stolen goods. This is even more befitting of the Nugget Mafia. We're selling stolen goods. We're gonna take all these books here and we're gonna go sell those. And yeah, that's that. That's that. This guy's wounded. He's all messed up. This guy saw it, but I don't really care. All is well. Now, is there any more? Get to the vault. Get to the vault now. That's right, Pato. I stole your thing. Stole it. It's mine now. I'm kidding. It's not actually. He does a way better Arnold than I do. I have Trump down though. I'll do a Trump impression all day. I love doing Trump impression. It's funny, especially since my wife hates it, which is why it's so funny. Get to the vault. It's funny. Yeah, we gotta check out and see if there's any more of these Western Hive pack beasts here, because if there's at least one more, we can get even more resources. Nomads. I don't think they're gonna have anything I want. I already checked that one, didn't I? I did. Traders Guild, Drifters. They're just beating the shit out of the nomads now for attacking me. Do the Trump impression. Okay. All right. Okay.
What we need to do is isolate the China virus, okay? They've been coming for us, alright? They're coming for our jobs. They're coming for our women. And listen, we have the best women, okay? The people here, the women here, they're great people. Wonderful people. Some of the best people that I've known. And we need to build a wall between us and the people who want to take our people. And that's why I'm implementing the next byproduct of American infrastructure, Project Tiny Hands, to protect American infrastructure from the foreign invaders of the Chinamans. They've been going pee-pee in our coke for years, and now we need to take back American infrastructure and protect our women. I do love our women. We have great women. We have beautiful women, possibly the greatest, most beautiful women there ever have been before, and ever will be since then. That's why we're implementing Project Tiny Hands.
There you go. You've gotten your dose of Trump. You've gotten your Trump impression today. My wife absolutely hates that people ask me to do the Trump impression on here. She thinks it's like her least favorite thing that I do. And so it's super funny because she found out the other day when she hopped into the stream that people ask me to do that. And she's like, I hate that for you. And I was like, I love it. What are you talking about? I think it's the funniest fucking thing. She also tells me I've been hanging out with Pato too much because sometimes when we're having conversation, like casually, like at home, like when like we're just doing stuff, I will randomly do the and she thinks that's hilarious too. She tells me I've been hanging out with Pato too much. It takes a fellow New Yorker to truly get the cadence perfectly. That's what it is. That's what it is. That's what it is. It's that slow drawl where like he puts pauses in sentences in weird spots sometimes. I can do a decent Obama. Obama did the same thing. Obama would pause at random times. I don't know if I could do the Obama right now because my throat's fucked up, but I could probably give it a shot. My throat's fucked up from talking all stream, but my fellow Americans, this is your president, Barack Obama. I'm here to tell you today that my wife, Michelle Obama, has decided to take a war against fat kids. No more children will be over 400 pounds on her watch. She's gonna take over the meal prepping and the meal plans for that of our dear Department of Health and Education. That's what we're gonna do. Yeah, yeah. Obama's is fun because he stops in weird spots, but he puts every sentence like it's a question, and he stops in the middle of the sentence and then like draws it out with an you know, um, which I've always thought was funny. So yeah, no, Trump and Obama are two of my favorite impressions to do, and it's funny because then no one can accuse me of like picking a political side to pick on because I'm doing it to both. So yeah. How we doing there? Long stout? No, good, not good. Alrighty. Hell yeah, we're buying and selling. We're actually buying and selling quite a bit. And the best part is I'm about to make a shit ton of money because I'm gonna go sell all those books. Hell yeah. Oh, what the fuck is happening in here? I go into the store and suddenly it's it's anarchy in here. I just wanted to sell some things. Okay, well, where's the shopkeep? Maybe I can still sell some stuff. I'm not here for violence. I'm here to sell and buy things. Jesus Christ, guys. What's with all the violence? The Black Friday sale. It's what it is. What it is. My God. I used to run a Walmart, and this is actually pretty close to what Black Friday looked like when I was a manager at Walmart. I used to be an assistant store manager of Walmart, and this is actually pretty fucking close to what it looked like on Black Friday. All jokes aside, I watched a grown man tackle another grown man through a Lego display and beat the shit out of each other for it. And they were $5 Legos. There was a display of them in the center walkway. I watched a grown man pick up and linebacker this man through the display, and while they were on the ground beating the shit out of each other for the Lego displays, everyone else took the Legos from around them, and neither of them got them. All they got was a broken nose and a fucking tooth missing. Trampled? No. Beaten up? Yes. So over my time working for the company of Walmart, I worked for 3 separate Walmarts because every time I'd get promoted, I would end up getting shifted to a different store. I would get promoted twice in store, and then I get promoted out. And by the time I was an assistant store manager, I was at the market store. But at the store that I worked in between, I worked at 3 of them. So I worked at 3 separate Walmarts, and the middle one that I worked at was in an area that had a high crime issue. Did I just steal that? I'm pretty sure I just stole something. I did. We're gonna put that down. I wasn't trying to steal that. That was weird. It was in a high crime area with a big drug problem, and so it was not an uncommon occurrence to have people jacked out on heroin dying in front of the store, and we'd have to deal with all that nonsense, or to have like whole groups of like 10 to 15 people beating the shit out of each other in front of the store, and I would just have to stand there and watch. Stand there and watch. What are you doing, man? I feel like you're like doing random shit, man. What are you doing? Why are you engineering stuff? Why are you going to other people's places for engineering? Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. You're being crazy. Where's the shopkeep here? I'm just trying to sell stuff, man. In this guy's pack. Anything? No. No. Maybe I can go into this store, since apparently the entire city of Stout has just completely devolved into anarchy. My god, Western Hive, Mercenaries, UC Heroes, Nomads, Manhunters, Traders Guild. Like, this whole place has devolved into complete anarchy again. I like how this happens sometimes. Did any of the Waltons shake my hand? No. No. You kidding me? Absolutely not. The Waltons don't even run anything anymore. They're just stakeholders anyway. They're just shareholders now. They don't even run anything anymore. Oh my god, this place is complete anarchy, man. That's true. It's true. I paid a couple people off for this. Anarchy's good for business. Anarchy's good for business. We're going to sell all these books I pilfered from the Western Hive. And we're going to make money off of it. Boom, 100,000 cats. We're rolling now, baby. We're rolling now. We're living in it. Happening. Things are happening. How are we doing here? Are we sold out? Oh my god, we're almost sold out in that one. How are we doing in this one? We are looking pretty good. We are looking pretty f***ing good. Pretty fucking good. All right, how are we doing back at the base? Oh, that is not the base. Shrike. I'm told there's a caravan here. What are they here for? That is a big entourage for just a caravan. Is it Taxman? Are they here? Are they here to tell me that I owe them money again? Greetings, sir. Shrike, get on out here. That's like America now. What does Don Tony McChicken think of the United Cities? He thinks that they are a means to an end. I mean, early on in the playthrough, Don Tony McChicken was actually a slave. I don't know if you guys remember that. He got enslaved. He got enslaved. And you know, he got enslaved. It's the whole thing. He thinks that they're yeah, exactly. He thinks they're a bunch of chumps that he can convince to part with their money. Is this game modded or the original? It is modded. The full link to my load order is in the description down below. I have not only the load order posted there, but all of my mods ready and available, one-click download. I wasn't there for his enslavement. Yeah, that happened. He was enslaved. It was like episode 3 or 4. My boy got enslaved. It was right after Beep died, before Zeep died. Yeah, it was a whole thing. It was a whole thing. The original party was Don and Beep, and then Beep died, and Beep got replaced with Shrike, Crumble John, and Infinite Wing Wang. And then they recruited Zeep, who was a fogman that we're gonna headcanon Beep into Beep. Basically, Beep got bit by a fogman, and he became a fogman, right, like a zombie, right? And so I was going to actually switch his dialogue package with that of Beep's. That way, Zeep would use Beep's lines and dialogue. Unfortunately, Zeep, sitting at the United Cities, he was sitting in Haft. Zeep got his head bashed in by some slave traders, and he bled out in Haft, which is why we named our first restaurant, the one in Stout, we named it Zeep's Delight in his honor. Yeah, it was a sad time. Sad time. This restaurant here is not working out nearly as well as I thought it would. These food cubes here are not selling. They're not selling like the hotcakes I thought they would. My hope, because the tech hunters actually have more money in their inventory. I was hoping they'd sell better, but I guess not. I guess not. Beep. Deep beep. Yeah. Pretty much. Pretty much. It was a sad time. Sad time. We lost some true artisans that day, some true heroes, but you know, these things happen. These things do happen. He's dead. He's in a recovery coma. Fuck that guy. Yeah, all right. So we're making some progress now. People are buying stuff. They bought the medical supplies. They bought those up real quick. We are making progress. We are selling stuff. We're up to 100,000 cats. We're out of stock here on pretty much everything except for the hashish. So we are going to have to make a run for that. We're going to have Ruka and the Don go refill. We're actually going to take some of the product here and bring that over, because it's not selling quite as well here. We'll leave some here, but it was a failed venture. We tried; it didn't work quite as well. We're gonna head back to Stout and fill those up. Somewhere we haven't checked in a while is Grink. How are you doing, Grink? Not as well. Not as well. Although, boom! Look at that stone. Actually, we could probably get a skeleton in here to help man the counters. Always use a skeleton. 6,000 cats. That's not bad. Stone the wall. We're just going to call him Stone the Wall. And his whole job is going to be to man the counter here with Grink. That's what he does. There must be a story behind the name of Infinite Wing Wang. Infinite Wing Wang, so there's got to be a story behind it, you're right. But Infinite Wing Wang, to me, has always struck me as just being like a massive egoist, is what it is. He's just a massive egoist. My man's just got a massive ego, that's all. Stone the Wall is the stinniest guy on the team. Yeah, that's the whole thing. That's the bit. That's the bit. We're going to save this. Those crashes happen, and they happen often. We do love him for it. It's true. True. He's an absolute Chad lad. He's a Chad lad. How does everyone build their Beep? What armors, weapons, and skills? One of my favorite things to do with Beep, I know that everyone tends to build him as martial arts. One of my favorite things to do with Beep, because he's so small, is give him the biggest fucking weapon I can give him. Give him the giantest weapon I can give him. I love seeing like Beep in the late game with industrial lifter arms and just the biggest fucking sword I can give him. It's so funny. It's one of my favorite things to do. Yeah. I tend not to go with Falling Suns, believe it or not. Falling Sun is not my preferred weapon of choice. It is not my weapon of choice. It is not my weapon of choice. I stick Beep in the ancient training device MK2 until he's 90 across the board and can crush Leviathans with only his butt cheeks. The Hybers have butt cheeks? My understanding is they vomit when they need to defecate and when they do stuff. It's my indication they vomit. They have no genitals. No. Pretty sure that's the case. I'm pretty sure they just vomit. Who's headed towards my base right now? Western High Farmers. No one cares about that. Have you seen how thick they are? They probably have cheeks. Oh, yeah. These are some thick-cheeked boys. Bug booties and whatnot, you know? Fair. It's fair. It's fair. He speaks the truth. He speaks the truth. I hope it's not a reborn mod. The latest version is broken. There's serious problems with generating energy at bases. What mod? Did I miss something? Oh, no. It's none of that stuff. None of that stuff. No, my mods are all stable. I check them regularly for updates. Everything should be fine. In addition to that, the load order posted is the fully optimized load order based on the recommendations for the load order for what things go where. It is arguably one of the more stable load orders that I've used. I do crash on occasion, but that has less to do with my game and more to do with my computer. At current, my CPU is one part of my computer that is not the best. So yeah, that's largely due to that. But yeah, no, everything's stable, everything works. Everything's stable and everything works. Wow, these nomads got really messed up, guys. These nomads got really messed up. So do these manhunters. My god. I build my beep like a samurai. Polearm, heavy armor. Have him work as a farmer and an engineer. That's a waste of beepage. That's a waste of beep. You gotta give that man the biggest weapon you can and let him be the strongest. There will be changes. There will be changes. When Beep is in charge, there will be changes. Alright, folks, it's past midnight. I'm gonna go to sleep now. Please spam a few beeps in chat in my absence. Everybody spam beeps. Everybody spam some beeps. Although I will say I'm gonna be headed out here pretty soon too. I'm getting tired and whatnot. So, yep. Everybody spam beeps in the chat. Spam the beeps. We do love the beeps. Played Manhunters, woo. Beep would like to see some human miladies. It's true. Beepers eat both. Beepers eat. They're interchangeable. They're interchangeable. Both are acceptable. Don's gonna fix up Burn there. Yeah. Yeah. Find him a girlfriend. Named her Boop. Beep and Boop. Beep and Boop. Hell yeah. Oh man, actually, yeah. No, I think I'm pooped, guys. I think this is where I'm gonna call this one. We're gonna be back tomorrow with another episode of the Nugget Mafia, but I do think that I'm getting near the end. I am getting pretty tired. Kenshi, thank you for stopping in. I appreciate you dropping in. As always, it's appreciated. Guys, yeah, so this has been a successful venture. Not only did we get a shit done today, but also we had that massively goated $500 dono. Oh my god. Never in all of my days. I was literally just stressed out today because my last couple of streams have been not as successful in terms of a donation standpoint. Viewership wise, we've been fantastic, but trying to make it full time, obviously money's a thing. I've never asked for it, but when you see it drop off, it stresses you out. But aside from that, absolutely fantastic, guys. I really hope that by the end of this year, we'll be able to go full time for sure. I really think we're going to be able to do that. And then I'm going to be able to provide you guys with the Kenshiest of Kenshi content. The Kenshiest of Kenshi content. But as always, guys, I appreciate your continued support. I appreciate you guys dropping in. Remember, use your powers for good instead of evil. Make a difference in someone's life. And, I don't know. What's a good, funny joke I can end this on? Stay out of whorehouses. Stay out of whorehouses. Don't drink bleach. Don't drink bleach. Have a good night, everybody. Thank you for popping in. I'll be back tomorrow.